C.H. Collins Athletic Complex, Denton, Texas, home of the perennial power Guyer Wildcats, and they are set to take on the Heath Hawks for the 2026 season opener. I'm Shannon Rodden alongside my new broadcast partner, Jeremy Bryant, and the rest of the Hawks broadcast team, and we are set to bring you another season of Heath Hawks football. It's the Heath Hawks and the Guyer Wildcats, and we'll bring it to you live on the Rockwall ISD Sports Network. Hello, everybody. I'm Shannon Rodden, and welcome to the Rockwall ISD Sports Network, presented by Texas Health Hospital Rockwall, your home for Rockwall ISD Athletics. I'm excited to be joined by Jeremy Bryant with Tristan Rodden on the board, Brian James behind the camera, and Catherine King down on the field. Want to welcome in Jeremy Bryant. And Jeremy, welcome to the team. Glad to have you for another exciting season of Heath Hawks football.
Looking forward to it, Shannon. And we got a good one here tonight. I mean, right out of the gate, new head coach Casey Dick is going to go against a program that traditionally is in the state quarterfinals, semifinals, year after year in Class 6A.
You bet, and there is plenty of history there. You got to catch up with Coach Dick this week, and this is what he had to say.
All right, joined by head coach of the Heath Hawks, Casey Dick. First game here tonight as Hawks taking on Guyer over here at C.H. Collins Complex. And, first off, I kind of want to start, Casey, with, from Van Buren to Fayetteville to Heath, Texas. When did Heath first actually come on your radar?
It's been somewhere that originally kind of being from Lucas, I've gotten to see kind of Rockwall grow up and really evolve into what it is and what it has been. And know in the past, obviously, they've been a pretty successful program from the standpoint of, having successful seasons and it being a place that, really stands up for their kids, really stands up for their students and their coaches. Great administration, and Dr. V's done a great job as far as really, evolving the whole thing into what it is now. And so really watching Rockwall, Heath High School roughly 20 years ago kind of grow up and start and look at what it is now has been kind of a cool, way back lens to look through as far as that whole standpoint. But, it was just kind of an interest from where we were and had some other opportunities from the standpoint of obviously jobs and stuff in the spring, but Heath ended up working out, and it's been a great transition for us, great transition for our family. The community's been very welcoming and really helped us out through, getting our kids in school, getting them enrolled, and getting them in some youth programs and stuff like that. So it's been an easy transition. It's evolved. Or I think since April, I've driven 23,000 miles back and forth and getting moved and getting settled. So it's been fast and furious just getting down here and getting moved.
Yeah, I didn't think about that till you said that. When you were graduated from Allen, there was no Heath High School at that point.
Nope. We had an all-star game when I was in high school, and the area where we practiced at was where Rockwall, their indoor is. So there wasn't anything obviously till right after that from that standpoint for sure.
So these last few weeks with the heat and everything else going on, your first year, new staff, program, everything else, what's been the biggest challenge for you guys at camp in August?
Yeah, it hasn't really been the heat. The wet bowl was something that we've had in Arkansas since I'd been up there. So that was a transition to something that I was kind of accustomed to from that standpoint. We've had the same rules and same, regulations and stipulations as far as the wet bowl goes that just kind of got implemented here from a standpoint of it being, something that everybody has to follow in the law and all that stuff. So, our staff has been great being able to get those guys here early on in the spring and, really get to know them and us kind of sit down and get to have meetings and get to have installs and all those things, but really be able to get here everybody in the summer is obviously we had, obviously people got to move and make a transition and all that, but be able to get everybody here, have their feet here and be settled has been the best part, honestly, was that. And then, just being around the kids and getting to know them and try to build relationships as fast as we can with our kids. So everything's been super amplified just from the standpoint of being here. And it's happened super fast, but we like where we are, love our kids. I think if we said, hey, you got to show up at 4:30, they'd all 237 would all show up and be ready to go at 4:30 a.m.
how many of your seniors and your captains kind of talk about how they have, stepped up in this little transition to help your staff out?
Honestly, it's easy for me to say, but they've been our hardest workers and obviously our best players as far as our captains go. You look at Prosper Neal and Carter Zom and Jackson Radecki and Carson Adams, Lana Foster, Christian Chairs, and Colton Lawford. I mean, those guys have done an unbelievable job of diving in and learning the system, but also leading by example. They understand that obviously it's not going to be perfect in the spring. It wasn't perfect in the spring, but they've come a long way as far as just evolving and being vocal leaders. That was something that we really needed and challenged everybody. Obviously, we had 2 or 3 of those, but we need about 15 to 20 of them to really be successful. And we've seen some guys come out of their shell and be, leaders from that, not only from an action standpoint or what they do, but really from a verbal standpoint. So it's been cool to just develop relationships with those guys, watch them flourish and, blossom into something else in a short amount of time, and really take some things that we presented with them and run with it.
As far as camp goes, have you guys stayed somewhat healthy so far?
Oh yeah, it's been a great camp, been a physical camp. Kids have done a great job, of learning and kind of getting deeper into our system, but also trying to make them as comfortable as we can without overloading them with everything at one time. So obviously this is probably, the second time that we've gone through some things, second or third time that we've gone through some things with our guys. So hopefully it's obviously looked a lot better from day one in the spring, from the standpoint of just repetition and hearing it and seeing it, but obviously getting out there and doing it multiple times. So they've done a great job of really going out and attacking every day, getting better, showing up, learning from video, learning from things that we presented them with, and just continue to get better.
Tonight, or not just all season, what would you say to fans, whether watching on the network or maybe they're watching at the games? What should they expect to see from your Heath team this year? I don't care who the opponent is. What was a Casey Dick coach team look like this year?
Yeah, we talk all the time about, number one, playing fast, secondly, playing physical, and third, finishing, what we do, whether that's the start, there's a start and a stop to every single play, but there's a start and a stop to every single game also. But we also carry that into the classroom as far as, having that mentality of, having an attacking mentality in the classroom, making sure we're sitting in the first 3 rows of our classes if we don't have assigned seats, but also being leaders in and out of the school building and being in our community as much as we can and being involved with those people. Because it is important that our community sees our kids out there being mentors to our younger kids as well. So, those 3 characteristics as far as being fast, physical, and finishing what we do are things that we talk about on a daily basis. And really just, giving their best every single day they step out there. And that's easy for them also to transition into, the classroom or into the community and while they're at home, catchy slogans and long kind of standards or stuff like that. Not that I don't use them, but I like them to be a lot shorter, concise, because, kids don't remember long phrases or anything like that. So we try to keep it short and sweet and something that they can relate to and take it with them wherever they go.
Well, your first game as, Heath coach, as you well know, you're playing a team that's pretty much every year plays for a state championship, at least in the conversation. And you might be playing, as you know, maybe the best defensive line in the state as well. So kind of talk about what you expect from Guyer and how do you slow down that defensive line?
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously, when you look at their defensive line, it's probably the most obviously talked about defensive line in the entire state. Maybe one of the better ones in the entire nation when you really look at, their kids and how they play and their technique that they play with. And coach, their coach has done a great job as far as developing those guys and really getting into where they're supposed to go. But they're an attacking defense, plays fast, off the ball. I think their defensive line uses their hands really, really well from the standpoint of, shedding tackles and really extending and getting leverage and all the things that you want defensive linemen to do. They're very well coached. They're a very well coached football team when you watch them in all phases of the game. So, it'll be a game that we look forward to, just to be able to go attack and go play fast and go be able to rep what we do. And we want our kids to go out there and play with a lot of confidence for sure.
But I guess that's where you talk about playing fast. That's one way to, in the heat especially, maybe slow down that defensive line.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, when you look at, the first couple of games for everybody is going to be, an adjustment period just because they're getting acclimated. And I think, our strength coach, Coach Hickman, has done a great job of getting our guys ready to go from the standpoint, from a conditioning and a weight room standpoint, building up their endurance and their levels that they need to be at. So we're happy with where those are, but, kind of once we get going, really see where we need to adapt and get better with it as well.
Now, if I can, I have a last thought for you, Coach Dick. If you can give me one key, which I know there's plenty more than just one for each side of the ball tonight, what would you say?
From the defensive side, just making sure when we have a chance to make a play or make a tackle, we do that. We obviously we don't let one missed tackle go and it make a big play. We got to be great tacklers. We've got to not let, when the ball gets outside the box or on the perimeter, we got to do a good job of cutting it down, forcing the ball out flat. And, on offense, we've got to be able to control the clock. They're an explosive offense and an explosive football team. Control the clock, be able to run the ball. And when we're able to, some of those things in the passing game present itself, we got to make some plays. And, our quarterback's got to do a great job of getting himself protected. We put some pressure on him from the standpoint of, whether it's checking certain run plays or passing games or passing concepts, all those things. And he's a smart kid, done a great job with it. But we're just making sure we get him protected as well.
Coach, I appreciate it. Good luck tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Welcome back, Denton, Texas. Tonight's coverage of the Rockwall ISD Sports Network is presented by Texas Health Hospital Rockwall. From joint care and rehabilitation to emergency services and surgery, Texas Health Rockwall is here to help keep our community healthy. Texas Health Hospital Rockwall, proud to support the student athletes, coaches, and families. Rockwall ISD, Shannon Rudd and Jeremy Bryant here, and we understand that we are having a slight glitch in the video. Glad we're catching it during pregame. We are going to go away for 2 minutes, so you do not have to get off your broadcast, but we will disappear for about 2 minutes. We'll come back and set this one up tonight on the Rockwall ISD Sports Network. Welcome in, everybody. Shannon Rodden alongside Jeremy Bryant, and we are going to have audio only here for the first few minutes. We are doing a camera swap out, and nothing like first game camera malfunctions whenever you're on a remote broadcast, Jeremy?
You know, these teams, they've had weeks to practice. We have not. We get like an hour or two to get this right, but we will get it right, we promise, in just a few short minutes.
You bet. You light the candle, and sometimes it just flickers out. But the Hogs getting ready to set the 2026, getting it kicked off. The Hogs have the Guyer won the toss and deferred, so the Hogs are set to return. We're going to call it like old school radio to get this one going.
Yeah, keys to the game here tonight. I think this is what Coach Casey Dick even said. Ball security. You're on the road. You're facing a great team like Guyer. We've got to take care of the ball. No turnovers. Number two, he says we're going to play fast, but we want to shorten the game, which means long, sustained drives, keep their offense off the field. And number three, and especially in the season opener, there's going to be so many emotions here, is control your emotions. Don't let your emotions get the best of you where you make a mistake and cost your team here in this season opener.
Always a key, getting fresh bodies out there, some in their first varsity appearance, and it is important, as Coach Dick says, to be able to calm down. The team that can calm down the first is play within yourself, usually settles in and gets the early lead. So the Hawks set to return, got Carter Zom back deep along with Landon Foster, looks like. Kicks deep. The Zom's going to let it go through the end zone, and the Hawks are going to set up 1st and 10 from the 25. Glad you could join us on the RISD Sports Network. Tristan Rudden on the board. He is upstairs getting the camera swapped out, and we're going to get to see this Hawks offense for the first time.
We do, but we also get to see, and you'll listen for now, this Denton Guyer defensive line. Some say it's the best in Texas, maybe one of the best in the country. They have three-star or four-star recruits that are all committed to Power 4 programs.
Lundell Hayden in the backfield with Prosper Neal to start it out. Neal looks to the right, fires to his slot receiver. That is Christian Contreras.
A good play call to start the season. You go with something simple, a little dig route, 7 yards deep, right there in the slot. You want to get confidence to your quarterback to start. I mean, even though he's a great quarterback, you still got to get that confidence on the first snap of the season.
Carter Zom in the pistol formation now, which is what we expected to see. Hawks 2 receivers set to the left. Hand off to Zom. He is swallowed up immediately in the backfield. Guyer had that one read the whole way.
Logan Loki blew that one up. He's not one of the defensive linemen we heard about. He's a linebacker, but that one, went backwards 5 yards. There was just a run blitz up front.
That's going to make it 3rd down and 8 for the Hogs, just underway here in the 2026 campaign. Neal to the line. Zom to his right. 3 receivers to the left. Takes a snap, back to pass, looking to the left, has a man in the slot, overthrows the receiver, a collision, and a helmet comes flying off for Prince Hobbs. Falls incomplete, and the Hawks are 3 and out.
Guyer ran his zone coverage that time. There was 3 defenders there, but Hobbs was open, but he mistimed his jump. He jumped a little bit too premature. If he times a little bit later, he makes that catch at the top of his leap.
That's going to make it 4th down and 8. Neal going to take on the punting duties. This one's going to be fielded at the 40. Makes a cut, has an open field, 1 man to beat. Down to the 25, run out of bounds by Davenport. But a great return, and the Guyer Wildcats going to set up in good position. Great return by Darian Johnson.
Yeah, that was Reese on the return, but, Shannon, you mentioned Prosper just didn't get any air on it. It was like a line drive punt. I mean, it literally went maybe 6-7 feet above the ground, and just no time for the coverage to get down the field. And once he made that first man miss, it was tough.
So that's some of those first drive nerves that we're seeing here. Early in the game, Guyer, the offense now comes out. They are going to set up deep in Hawks territory. 1st and 10 from the 23. Carter Morgan, the quarterback, the 6'3" junior. Man in motion. Fakes the handoff, rolls to the right, looking for a man deep in the end zone, and a nice defensive play by the Hawks. That is number 7 for the Hawks, Cornelius Brown, with a nice defensive play.
He had 3 receivers go to the left, and they ran a go route down the sideline, and Brown was all by his lonesome. Man-for-man coverage, made an outstanding play and knocked that ball out of the hands of the receiver in the end zone to save a touchdown.
2nd down and 10 now for Guyer. DJ Reese to the right of Morgan. 4 receivers to the left. Quick throw, catch made. Going to be a gain of about 5 yards. The Hawks defending it well, but don't see quads left very often.
That's Zane Rowe. He is the Oregon recruit who plays defensive end, but he plays tight end as well. He plays both sides of the ball. He makes that catch there for Guyer. Now got a 3rd and 5.
Guyer going no huddle. Another 4 receiver set to the left. Reese in the backfield. The Wildcats shift out of it. They'll go back to now 2 running backs in the backfield. Twins to the right. Handoff left side. Going to be close to the 1st down marker. Looks like he may have it. If not, going to be just a tad short. Bring up 4th down and inches as Guyer showing multiple formations.
They got a big offensive line up front, and that was really Cash Vallegas just carrying the load. And so now on 4th, it's going to be 4th and about 2 feet. Shannon, they are going to bring in 2 guys wearing number 90. When you see number 90s out there, you don't see that very often. 2 defensive linemen.
Darian Neal goes 290. And Kyron Haywood going 270 in the backfield. They're going to hand it off, cuts it back around to the right. He is open and skirts into the end zone. That is number 99, Kyron Haywood, as the Hawks tried to jam up the middle, and he just took it to the right side. Nobody there.
He's ranked one of the top defensive linemen in Texas, going to Texas Tech next year as a defensive end. But, boy, he's got some quick feet. He made a nice cut to get outside, and that kind of shows the agility of this defensive line that plays both ways for Guyer.
So Guyer with a 6-0 lead, cashing in the short field. The extra point is up and good. So with 8:32 left to go in the first, Hawks trailing 7-0 over the Guyer Wildcats on the Rockwall ISD Sports Network.
At Rockwall Sports Center, your logo is our business. We specialize in custom branded apparel, shirts, hats, jackets, polos, and even team uniforms. Whether you need custom gear for your corporate outings, staff retreats, company parties, or just new staff wear, we've got you covered. We can use your design or help you design a new one. We offer high-quality customer service and always put our customers and their satisfaction first. Contact us today and let us show you how Rockwall Sports Center can have you looking your best.
Guyer with a quick strike takes a 7-0 lead as the Hawks going to go back to receive for the 2nd time.
Yeah, that punt return and then a short field, that's about a 28-yard drive for Guyer. And so let's see if the Hawks can bounce back. By the way, we'll give you the Heath Hawks offensive lineup in just a moment, brought to you by T3 Chiropractic.
This one is going to go into the end zone. The Hawks will set up again. 1st and 10 from the 25. And Jeremy, so far, the Hawks 3 and out the first time. Need to get something going here.
Yeah, and you got a lot of new receivers this year. Christian Contreras, Sheldon Bell, Prince Hobbs. Carter Zom is actually the Hawks' top receiver back from last year. He had 22 catches last season. And that offensive line, you had some experience back as well.
Christian Contreras was hurt most of last year. pretty much all of last season. Expect to make a big impact now, throwing down the left side. Looking for Sheldon Bell. He is covered well. Pass goes incomplete.
Well, I think it was more than covered well. He was being grabbed a little bit by Preston Molina of Guyer. You could have, I mean, it's early. I don't know if you want to call that interference, but that was definitely a little physical coverage by the Guyer cornerback.
Second down, 10 from the 25. Sorry for the camera problem. Our crew is working hard on it as the Hawks shift Davenport in the slot. Twins right. Going to hand off to Zom up the middle. Going to pick up about 4. Going to bring up third down at 6.
Yeah, just shot the 30-yard line. Heath really needs a first down here. You just want to keep, get the momentum back in your side, keep their offense off the field. But look for maybe, one way to slow down the pass rush, Shannon, is run some screens and maybe look for a screen pass here to Hobbs or maybe get Zom out, where he's a great receiver.
Hawks shift into the Twins right formation. Zom to the right. Looking down the middle, ball is batted up. Davenport almost comes up with it. Once again, another 3 and out for the Hawks, and that big defensive lineman that you were talking about, Jeremy, coming up big there for the Wildcats.
Yeah, that was the guy that scored the touchdown on that last drive, Kieran Haywood, the Texas Tech commit. But he had Contreras open on a slant across the middle, but that big paw just knocked the ball straight up in the air. And you're right, Davenport almost made a catch out of nowhere. It was actually over his head and almost an over-the-shoulder catch.
Prosper Neal back to punt for the Hawks. This one line drive, but it's going to get over the return man. It's going to chase it back, fields it. Now in the open field, makes a couple of moves, but he'll be brought down at the at the 33-yard line, and a nice tackle there by Eli Contreras.
So DJ Reese set out all of last year. He's their playmaker that just made that return. He had an ACL injury. Looks very healthy now, but he went back 25 yards. I thought there was very close to block in the back right there, but he was right in front of the back judge. But, yeah, he's the guy in offense on the outside that's dangerous. I mean, and this is a quarterback. You mentioned Morgan. He had less than 1,000 yards passing last year. He's not, a really electric playmaker. He lets his offense kind of do the job.
Trips to the left, rolls to the right, now looking down the middle. Good coverage, but gets tied up with the receiver. That's going to be pass interference, as looked like they had Jaden Thomas covered well, but whenever he tried to adjust back to the middle, Hawks got tied up.
Yeah, Tyler Powers just did not see the ball. You're right. If he turns his head around, he might pick it off. It was not thrown very well, and that was not a great pass, but they'll get an interference 15 yards.
So that's going to take the Wildcats out to the 47-yard line. Quick huddle. Cash Villegas shifts out of the backfield. 3 receivers to the left now. Villegas back to the right of Morgan. Takes snap, looks to the right, quick throw, caught by DJ Reese. Going to be a gain of about 9. Going to bring up second down and 1. Good first down play for the Wildcats.
And right now, Carter Morgan's getting plenty of time in the pocket. So Heath is running just a 3-man rush. We've only seen 1 blitz so far.
Quickly back to the line. 3 receivers to the left, throws it to the left. Caught. Turns inside is number 20, Cash Villegas. Another first down for the Wildcats. They are on the move down to the Hawks 35. No huddle. Multiple formations here for the Wildcats. Have the Hawks scrambling a little bit. Empty backfield. They check it back over to the sidelines.
And Heath's got 6 defensive backs now. They're going to change their coverage as well.
Pistol formation. Handoff Villegas up the middle. He's going to be tackled immediately. Nice tackle by
DeCorian
Wilson. So that one looked like it had a chance.
Yeah, that's just a draw play, and you're right. Wilson is probably the only one that can make that tackle. If he gets by Wilson, he might score. But, I mean, now it's just a 1-yard gain.
2nd down, 9 for the Wildcats, leading 7-0 midway through the first period. Villegas to the right of Morgan. Looking to the right, another quick throw on the out, caught by DJ Reese, slips inside, trying to turn it back inside, but it's going to be enough for a first down inside the 25.
Yeah, Reese ran in and out and to the sideline and just had Perryman turned his head the wrong way. And this offense is moving.
Twin receivers stacked to each side. Handoff to Villegas, has room up the middle. Gain of 9 yards, and this Guyer offense has the Hawks reeling.
Yeah, they're going right straight up ahead. That is a gigantic offensive line, all around 250, 300 pounds.
Receiver in motion. Quick throw to the left, caught. Hawks are there, but not before. Gain of about 4 yards and another first down as Carson Adams comes over to help out on the tackle. We'll be calling his name a lot, the senior linebacker.
Yeah, just
for the Hawks.
Just outside the 11-yard line, so not quite a 1st and goal yet here for Guyer, already up 7-0. You mentioned Adams. You know, I've seen different publications say he's one of the best linebackers in the state. We all know he's going to Air Force next year. But it's not just local folks. I mean, a lot of people recognize Carson, one of the top 10 linebackers in Texas.
Last year, the Hawks were heavy on the seniors, with one of the best linebacker corps around, and the only junior was Adams, and he was as good as any of them, as a timeout is going to be called by Guyer. So 4:40 left to play in the first period, and got a lot of new sponsors this year.
And, of course, we got to start off with our friends at Texas Health Hospital. Need a little TLC off the field? Count on Texas Health Hospital Rockwall for the win. From joint care and rehabilitation to emergency services and surgery, Texas Health Rockwall is here to help keep our community healthy. Texas Health Hospital Rockwall, a year-round title sponsor of the Rockwall ISD Sports Network.
We apologize for the video loss, as the crew is working hard on it. So far, it has been all Wildcats. The Hawks with 2 3-and-outs. Not getting much going. Guyer, on the other hand, took short field in for a 23-yard drive to open it, and now they are knocking on the door with a first down and 10 just outside the 11-yard line of the Hawks.
Yeah, they got their coach back for his 5th year. Reed Heim took him to the state quarterfinals last year in 6A D2.
Morgan hands off to Villegas up the middle, and the Hawks tackling for a slight loss there, and a nice play by DeCorian Wilson.
Yeah, Wilson came around the edge. That was a blitz, a run blitz called by Heath. A loss of 1, and it's a first negative play for Guyer on the offensive end.
Going to bring up 2nd down and 11. Good crowd has made the 70-mile trip, I would say. Morgan looking to the right. Under pressure, the Hawks have it, gets the throw off and gets it thrown away. I'm not sure here. That was actually a good play by Morgan as the Hawks got to him, but unable to bring him down to avoid the sack.
Yeah, and that's what Coach Dick is talking to the linesman over there, saying he was in the grasp. He thought the whistle should have been blown and never was, apparently.
And was definitely inside the tackle box
right.
there.
Could have been intentional grounding. That's what he's also arguing for, but no flag, no intentional grounding. Now you got a 3rd down and long.
3rd down and 11. This would be a big stop for the Hawks. Wilson fakes the pitch, rolls out to the right, has a man across the middle, and a nice recovery there for the Hawks. That was number 2, Colton Loffrey, as the receiver was wide open across the middle, and Loffrey getting back and saving a touchdown there.
Yeah, Jaden Thomas right underneath the goalpost was open, and Loffrey had he's playing the ball. He has back to the ball, but he put his arms up, knocked the ball down. I got to tell you, they missed it. There was a wide receiver open in the end zone, and the cornerback fell down.
So Guyer's going to attempt the field goal from 30 yards out. The kick is up, and it is no good.
That was a knuckleball. Man, that looked like you and I kicking off the tee there. I mean, that thing was going sideways every which way. And what a bullet dodged by Heath in this first quarter, because let's be honest, it's been dominated by Guyer, but still just a one-score game.
One-score game. We've seen the Hawks offense has plenty of firepower, so see if they can cash that one in, as that was a good defensive stand by the Hawks. You had mentioned Guyer driven pretty much at will up to that point. So now the Hawks offense going to come back out again for the third drive. Zom in the backfield, along with Prosper Neal. Twin sets to both sides. Man in motion. Back to pass, looking for the screen pass. Has Zom unable to make the connection, but there's the screen pass you were talking about, as that'll sometimes slow down the rush, but the Hawks, they need to get those hooked up here early.
And Prosper is running for his life. He's back nearly 20 yards near the goal line, but if it was a low pass at the knees of Zom, if he can make that catch, he can run for 20, 30 yards. There he had blockers ready for a big gain.
Receivers each side, and that's going to be a false start, and both teams pointing at each other.
Yeah, I did see movement up front on the D-line. They're going to call
a false start on the Hawks. Going to make it 2nd down and 15.
Yeah, Talon Thomas, right guard, is they said number 75, called for that false start.
Hawks making it more difficult for themselves. 3:34 left to go here in the first. Apologize for the video loss. We'll get it back for you as quickly as possible.
Illegal substitution. There was too many men on the field. That means there was 12 men in the huddle or 12 men on the field. And so, again, these are some of the things that first game, first quarter, you get worked out. It's not always pretty. But so now you're 2nd down and 20. This is where you just don't want to make a mistake here. You want to just get some yards and not try to make something out of nothing.
Hawk shift, 3 receivers to the right. Back to pass, Neal throws the middle screen. Caught by Contreras. He is tackled immediately. It's going to be a gain of about 1.
Man, the pursuit of Guyer, I mean, because that was open, it was slowly developing wide out screen the far side, the Heath sideline. And I thought for a moment he had some room to run, but they really just chased the ball so quickly.
You had mentioned your play calls get very limited at this point. Plus, there's not a lot of time to throw so far. So the Hawks going to go trips set to the left. Zom in motion. Quick throw out. Caught by Zom. Makes a move out to the 20-yard line. Going to get back to the original line of scrimmage. And once again, it's going to be another 3-and-out, third time tonight for the Hawks.
Still was a heck of a completion by Prosper Neal. He actually threw it between someone's defender's arms. He had his arms up, went right between them like a field goal into the arms of Zom. So at least gives you a little bit more space for this punt.
Neal in punt formation. Rugby style punt this time has some air. It's going to bounce 45, and going back to get it is DeCorian Wilson, but he is going to catch it right at the sideline, and a nice punt.
That's a 52-yard punt, a 52-yard punt by Neal, but there is a flag down in the middle of the field, like 25 yards away from the play.
Been seeing a little bit of an extracurricular going on from both sides. See
yes.
what the call is here.
Yeah, you're right. They've let them play because away from the play several different times tonight. They've had receivers and defensive backs wrestling on the field.
So that's going to be a 15-yarder against Heath, exactly what you're talking about.
I didn't hear the reason for the unsportsmanlike conduct, but so they'll move the ball to about the 44-yard line of Guyer. It seems like this first quarter, Heath has been backed up inside their own 20 the whole time, while Guyer's had excellent field position around midfield or even better. And this is their now third drive of the game.
So we have been told that our video has apparently been fixed. We are going to have to reboot. We're going to go ahead and wait till the next stoppage, or which will either be at the quarter, or if we have a timeout before that, we're going to need about a 2-minute reboot. Appreciate you sticking with us here. So correction on the penalty.
So we talk about the broadcasters, and we got to have a little scrimmage. The officials also making mistakes. I mean, I guess they do have a scrimmage to practice, but yeah, they're also a bugaboo. So wave off that. They're going to spot the 34-yard line.
So that'd make it a 5-yard penalty for some reason. So
I'm confused.
Sure. No, I am very confused. So the Wildcats will take over first down and 10 from the 35. Come back out for their third drive. Deep ball thrown down the left side, caught by DJ Reese. It was nice coverage on the play, but a nice throw and catch for Guyer down inside the 10-yard line. Sometimes you just got to tip your hat to a nice throw and a nice catch.
Yeah, this kid, Carter Morgan, like I said before, didn't have great accuracy last season. That's it. That was basically, he dropped it in the bucket down the sideline, and DJ Reese, full stride. You're right, that was good coverage by Perryman, Modric Perryman.
First and 10 from the 25. This time, rolling out is Morgan. Doesn't have anybody. He's going to run out of bounds. They're going to call a late hit there. There's that extracurricular we've been talking about, as Morgan had probably taken an extra step out of bounds, didn't get lit up, but nevertheless, I believe that's going to be a half disc to the goal line.
Yeah, it was one of the Hawks coming over there late. And there was not much contact. I think the officials are just trying to get a hold of this game because of you mentioned the extracurricular activities. So that's another personal foul on Heath. That's going to should be a first and goal inside the 10.
It's one of those, we didn't light him up, but it was a step out of bounds. So 1:43 left to go here in the first period. Guyer knocking on the door again. Full set to the right. Handoff, Jegas back to the left, takes it up the middle into the end zone. Touchdown Wildcats.
Yeah, Villegas that time goes off the left side, and they pulled all their linemen to go off that left side.
We're going to take a quick break and go ahead and reset this video. Come back. Hopefully we'll have. Prosper Neal rolls out to the right on first down. Has Contreras deep, pass interference to call. So that's going to move the Hawks out across the 30. Make it first down and 10 from the 31.
14-0 still our score. Denton Guyer on top of the Hawks. Got a minute 25 left to play in this first quarter.
Neal hands off Zom across the right side, has some room, cuts it inside, and he breaks it down the right side. Carter Zom, shoestring tackle down inside the 35-yard line. Carter Zom showing that speed.
That's just a sweep to the right side. He stiff-armed 2 Wildcats. Watching the replay right here. Broke 2 tackles, then a stiff-armed Wildcat. Boy, he turned on the Jets. I thought he was gone, but he got tripped up right at the just shy of the 30-yard line.
So the Hawks cross midfield for the first time down to the 31 in business. Here, 1:01 left to go in the first period. Neal running for his life, trying to get the screen pass going, and this defensive line from the Wildcats in his face.
Even in that's an incompletion, the fact that Prosper Neal was able to run backwards, he's got 2 Wildcats chasing him. He still threw it 5 yards beyond the line of scrimmage near a receiver to avoid the intentional grounding penalty. But, you talk about Carter Zom. This is a guy that averaged 102 yards rushing per game last year, 1,200-plus yards last season. And he's just a stud, and he can change a game in one play like he did a moment ago.
He's hurt most of his sophomore year. Last year, huge part of the Hawks offense as a throw out to the right side. Zom not ready for it as Neal had to unload that. It's going to make it third down and 10 from the 31. Hawks getting pretty close here to 4-down territory.
Well, see, Zom never thought that he was pointing at his teammate Contreras. Contreras, they thought the ball was going towards him, but Prosper Neal was not on the same page. And again, it's the first half, first quarter. These are things that are going to happen early in the season.
Third down and 10 for the Hawks. Trying to cut into this 14-0 lead. Neal back to pass. Has Contreras cross the middle. Caught for a first down. Nice play. Gain of 13.
3rd and 10, Shannon. I'm shocked that Guyer did not bring a blitz. They just brought a 3-man rush. And so Prosper finally had some time to look downfield and throw. And Contreras, I just love the way he runs his routes. Just he's crisp, good cuts, and a first down inside the 20.
Contreras hurt all of last season, worked hard in the offseason. Set for a big senior year. First down 10 from the Hawks from the 18. Zom, handoff to the right side, swallowed up in the backfield. That defensive line not letting him get going.
Yeah, let me again read the defensive line here. You got TCU, Texas Tech, and Oregon on that front line.
So that is going to do it for the first period. Hawks on the move, trying to cut into this 14-0 lead from the Guyer Wildcats on the Rockwall ISD Sports Network.
Yeah.
So at the end of one here in the opener, Shannon Rodden alongside Jeremy Bryan. Jeremy, Hawks not the start that they want, but they could get it corrected right here.
Yeah, down 14-0, but a chance to cut it in half. This game brought to you by Alliance Bank, big supporter of Rockwall ISD Athletics, cheering on the Hawks on the field and in life. Alliance Bank member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Second down, 13 from the 21-yard line. Neal back to pass, has a man down the middle. It is Zom, spins out of one tackle down inside the 10. Going to be enough for a first down. Another magnificent effort by Carter Zom.
Zom has got a lot of schools look at him. This is a highlight reel. He makes a catch in the middle of the field, made two linebackers miss. Looked like he's doing some ballroom dancing. He did a little pirouette in the middle of the field, spun around to pick up 5 more yards.
Hawks with a quick huddle. Come back out. Shift to the 2 receivers to the left. Handoff Zom up the middle. Met by that defensive line. Nothing doing. Going to be a loss of 2 yards.
On first down, almost every single time, they are loading the box. They are ready for the run. And look for Coach Dick and his staff maybe to change up their first down calls going forward, because Guyer's got, they are stuffing the run in that first down play. But now you got still a lot of options at the 9-yard line and second and goal. I think you might look for Contreras. He's in the slot on the far sideline. He's been his main target in this first quarter.
Second and goal from the 9. Neal looking to the left, has a man on the screen, caught, tackled immediately, and the ball is taken away.
They're going to call this incomplete pass.
Eli Contreras, I think he just took it away from him. We're going to see.
Well, he got hit.
Call it incomplete.
Yeah, I don't think he had completion, Shannon. He never really pulled it into his body. Oh, they're going to say it's a fumble.
Nope, they are going to say. I think it's going to end up either being I think it's a fumble. The ball never hit the ground as the catch was made by Eli Contreras on the screen. Looked like the Hawks had something. He was hit hard, so the ball either popped out or he was stripped. Nevertheless, they were actually going to call it down right there. They're not going to give him the return yards, but a big defensive play by the Wildcats.
Yeah, that's Paxton Williams. He's one of their 4 defenders headed to a FBS school next year going to North Texas. He put that hit right on Eli Contreras, and that was just a simple wide-out screen. And it's a big turnover in the red zone.
So the Wildcats back out. First down and 10 from their own 9. Morgan, quick throw to the left on the screen pass. The Hawks doing a pretty good job of defending it. It's only going to be a gain of 2 yards. So the Hawks defense getting it done there as Graham Nixon nowhere to go.
Yeah, that's Carson Adams showing off his speed to make that tackle in the open field.
2 receivers each side, empty backfield. Morgan looks to the right, pump fakes, now rolling to the right, still looking for his man on the comeback, and a nice catch out there by Graham Nixon. Pretty good defense for the Hawks by Cornelius Brown. That is going to bring up about 3rd down and 3. Big stop here for the Hawks if they can get it.
Yeah, and that quarterback, Carter Morgan, when he's outside the pocket, he can make some plays, and he just bought enough time for their receiver to come back to the ball and keep that play alive. So now it's 3rd and 2. Let's see if maybe Heath will load the box. You think a run on 3rd down and 2, but they're going to take a lot of time. They're going to talk about this.
Timeout, Wildcats, as big play coming up. 10:06 left to go in the second. And we'll talk about some of those new sponsors.
Yeah, one of them from last year. This is my buddy, Jacob Rhodes of Smith Allen Insurance. You know, if you got insurance rates going through the roof, I personally know. So last year our family called Jacob. Our insurance rates went down over $200 less per month. So, you want to save a lot of money. And we got the same coverage as well. And not just that, Jacob's a personal guy, had a ribbon cutting at our business. He was one of the first people there. So he's going to show up for you. He's going to save you some money. Call Jacob at Smith Allen Insurance at 214-460-3638. Jacob Rhodes at Smith Allen Insurance.
9:50 left to go in the second period. The Hawks have had a couple of opportunities to get back in this. so far dominated by Guyer, and the Hawks could come up with a big defensive play here, get a score, could change this momentum.
Yeah, we talk about this Guyer team, and we mentioned their defensive line a lot, but you know, Heath has made some good plays on the defensive side. I think the one thing here is what will you do with your linebackers, Adams, and because I feel like 3rd and 2, you got maybe run a run blitz here, put a little pressure. They're gonna put 7, 8 men in the box.
Fakes the handoff, rolls out, screen right, caught for the first down, as that is a nice design screenplay, as that is to Villegas, 5'9", 180-pound junior. Another first down, and they get out of the hole.
They had it played well except for one. You mentioned Villegas kind of leaked out of the backfield, and trying to get back there in time was DeCorian Wilson. Just good job by Morgan, the quarterback, to, again, buy a little extra time to make the completion.
Wildcats shift, 3 receivers to the left. Hand off Villegas, but he is actually
play was blown dead.
Blown dead in the backfield. This is going to be a delay of game, and a good thing because Carter Morgan pulled that one back under, and he had a lot of daylight.
That's the first time we've even seen Morgan really try to run tonight. So, yeah, you're right. That is a break for the Hawks.
Ran one other time on a busted play.
That's right, yeah.
But on that one, he was running the lead draw, and he saw the hole, and it was a good thing that play was blown dead.
Still 14-0 Guyer here, early second quarter, 9:50 to go until halftime.
Empty backfield, 2 receivers each side. Morgan looks to the right, quick throw, caught. That is DJ Reese on another reception. The Hawks giving him all kinds of respect.
Well, and that's because of his speed. They went deep to him twice, and so they're about 5-6 yards off of Reese. And that got second down and short.
2nd down and 2 from the 28. Villegas motions back, takes the handoff. He is stuffed. That is going to be short of the first down. Going to bring up 3rd down and a little less than 1. Nice tackle up the middle.
Bradley Spicer, the sophomore, 5'9", 155, but he put his head down and he nearly picked up Villegas. And now, you're right, stopped him shy of the first down marker.
Bradley Spicer, the sophomore, getting his first start in the Hawks uniform. And that was a huge tackle as Villegas was almost up to full speed, and it was a dead stop. 3rd down and 1. Other handoff caught in the backfield. That is going to be a loss on the play. The Hawks coming up big. We'll see what the Wildcats do. Looks like the punt team's getting ready. If they are, this will be a huge stop for the Hawks. And that's exactly what they're doing. Back-to-back stuffs by the middle of that Hawks defense.
And that was a disaster from the start. Guyer didn't break the huddle till there's 8 seconds on the play clock. There was 3 Hawks in the backfield when the handoff exchange happened. That just shows you that Heath was ready for that run straight up the middle.
So Bradley Spicer, the sophomore, getting it started now. That was a dead ball foul.
False start.
False start on the offense. About to say, if that was encroachment on the defense, that would have nullified it. But 5 yards, that's going to make it a little bit longer punt. So 7:51 clock running here in the second period. Hawks defense coming up big again. That's the second time.
Oh, they almost got after it.
High punt. Going to be fair caught. Catch made by Laughley. He actually dropped that on a fair catch. That could be a 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, you're right. He had it smothered underneath his legs, and I thought they might throw a flag, but they almost blocked that punt. That was inches away.
So 7.5 left to go in the second period. Hawks defense showing some game. Hawks trailing 14-0.
And Hawks football brought to you by Home Bank Texas, locally owned, community banking at its best. Home Bank Texas, recognized one of the strongest financial institutions in the country and rated 5 stars by Bauer Financial. Home Bank Texas, proud supporter of Rockwall ISD Athletics.
Quick throw to the left, caught by Contreras. Gain of 6 yards. That has been the most success the Hawks have had in that slot receiver spot.
That last time, after Heath threw that pass, Kieran Haywood, the big defensive tackle, number 99, he just came by and gave a high five to the Prosper Neal. Like, hey, man, just keep coming after me. You can tell there's respect and sportsmanship there. But Neal showing off his gun that last play.
Second down, 4 for the Hawks. As Neal keeps the handoff, as he is swallowed up immediately. Another big loss in the backfield as the defensive line almost taking the snap.
Yeah, that's Zane Rowe. He's the number 16 recruit in Texas. He had every school in the country looking at him, including Ohio State, USC, Texas, and he is really good. Now you got a 3rd down and 9.
3rd down and 9. Saw him in motion. Draw play. Keeper up the middle, nowhere to go for Neal. He's going to get a gain of about 4. That's going to bring up 4th down and 5. Hawks probably going to have to punt again.
That was not a design quarterback draw, but again, I think you might see Heath change the snap count because Guyer is guessing it almost right a couple times. They guessed it right, and they were in the backfield before Prosper could look downfield. But again, he improvises, makes something out of nothing.
So another 3 and out for the Hawks.
Got a timeout by Guyer, looks like.
I believe that is their 3rd one of the half. That is going to be all the timeouts as it is their final one. 5:36 left to go in the first half. Hawks trailing 14-0 over the Guyer Wildcats on the Rockwall ISD Sports Network.
This game brought to you in part by Rockwall Sports Center, proudly serving the community for more than 20 years. Right here in Rockwall. In fact, they offer sporting goods, screen printing, custom apparel, school spirit wear, team uniforms, and athletic gear. In fact, I bought a brand new Heath polo. Got some of my first ever Heath swag on right now from Rockwall Sports Center, and Shauna and the whole game proudly supporting Rockwall ISD Athletics. So we got 5:36 left to play in this second quarter, and we will get video on here soon. We apologize, but we got an option coming up soon. It's 14-0 Denton Guyer. They got a 4th down and 5 coming up here for Heath at their own 40-yard line. Now we
do have the camera up. Sorry for the little line in there, as we have had to pull the camera down right here. We'll explain more as we go, but this is going to be 4th down and 5 for the Hawks. Neal, rugby-style punt. This one high. It is going to be caught and returned with room down the left side, and another huge play by DJ Reese as the Hawks got the punt that they wanted, and just athletic ability of Reese gets out of the tackle.
And I think some of the Heath kickoff coverage downfield, I thought he called a fair catch, honestly, because they just kind of stopped. Only one Hawk was there to have a chance to make the tackle. So now, again, Guyer, this has been the story all night. Great field position. Casey Dick, the head coach of Heath, they saw the same thing I saw. They thought there's a fair catch called. That's why the return happened. There's confusion. That's why I was wondering why there was no Heath players in the vicinity of Reese. They kind of just stopped running. And Casey Dick is taking off his headset. He is, as you can see, livid.
Yeah, so the officials are talking about it. They may be bringing this one back. That'll actually be a penalty.
Yeah, so they did catch it. Okay, I'll give the officials credit. They got together, 4 of them, and realized he did lift his hand up. I mean, enough that's a fair catch, and that's
right.
a penalty.
Yep, so that'll be 5 yards back the other way from the point that he caught. So Neal, after the first punt, has actually done a good job of changing the field position, as that is going to be an illegal fair catch. That's going to make it first down 10 from the 12, 5:24 left to go. So we have the camera now down here in the press box. That's why you'll see the line there, but that is the best we can do at the moment. Appreciate everybody sticking with us here, as quick screen to the left, and it actually bounces off the receiver Zane Rowe's hands. That was dangerous.
Well, that was caused by off the edge. That was pressure there for Heath. Landon Foster hit Morgan, the quarterback, right in his back. And yeah, you're right, almost a pick 6 potentially.
So the Hawks defense making some plays, keeping them in at 5:19 left to go in the half. Brown looking to the left, has time, looking across the middle, overthrows his receiver, had a man wide open, and Graham Nixon just misses him, as he got a little bit of happy feet there.
You're right, and Morgan was feeling the pressure, and it was Carson Adams got a hit on Morgan, and just enough to make him sail that pass, or else he completes it, and that would have been a Guyer first down. And that's something Heath did not do in the first quarter. They were not applying pressure on the quarterback. Now they're getting pressure on Morgan, and we've got a stoppage of play.
The clock was running on an incomplete pass. I think the Hawks may be calling a time.
Okay, 5:15 is what they're going to put on the scoreboard.
5:15. They kept it running after the incomplete pass, so they're getting it right. The Hawks not taking a timeout. They're coming back out. That's going to be 3rd down and 10. Another big play for this Hawks defense. Morgan back to pass, looking to the right, has a man in the flats, caught but tackled immediately. As that is number 43, Amat Cham, with a huge play to get the Hawks or the 3 and out, get off the field.
Yeah, the Hawks brought a blitz that time. It was a stunt, and you had just one-on-one out there, and Cham had an outstanding tackle. There was no one within 15 yards of him if he misses that tackle. So, this Heath defense struggled a little early on. They've gotten better, I feel like, every single drive.
They have, and another high punt. This is going to be caught. Fair caught by Lawfrey. So a great job by this Hawks defense. Going to give the Hawks some of their best field position of the game with 4:30 left. Now if the Hawks offense can get it going, cut into this 14-0 lead of the Wildcats.
Especially the way Guyer just dominated this game early. If Heath could cut it in half, make this a 1-score game before halftime, it would be absolutely huge. Game brought to you by Group 1 Ford of Rockwall. Drive with the team that supports our community. Group 1 Ford of Rockwall, proud to support our students, athletes, and fans. Stop by and experience the winning difference at Group 1 Ford of Rockwall. Built for Texas, driven by community.
Back to pass, looking down the left side, one-on-one coverage, and that is going to be pass interference, as Neal had time to throw there, launches it deep. And I believe that was Eli Contreras, the intended receiver.
Yeah, and the defensive back, as you can maybe get a chance, we'll see if you saw it, that was an actual bear hug. He was hugging him as he ran down the field. That was one of the more obvious pass interference calls. Oh, we're going to have offsetting calls. He had holding. I didn't see that flag on Heath, so that nullifies what would have been a first down because of the hold on Heath.
Explains the time that he's had to throw that he hasn't had all night. Neal rolls left under duress, throws incomplete. That's going to bring up second down again. Coach Greg Harvey, Heath Hawks baseball coach, checking in from back home.
You mentioned no time for Prosper. That last play, he was sprinting, as you see that far side, because as soon as the ball was snapped, he had Rowe, he had several defenders chasing him.
So Coach Harvey has him and Melissa and also his dad, Gary Harvey, all tuned in.
So it looks like Heath's going to use their first timeout of the second quarter, first half.
I appreciate the Harveys sticking with us as they have been listening the whole time, and Brian James, Tristan Rodden been working hard with Chris Curtis back home, getting the video restored. Appreciate everybody sticking with us as we have been working hard. Always first game of the season, and
of course,
just happens.
Yeah, the Gremlins come out of nowhere for that first game. We will, of course, have the band for our halftime show brought to you by Texas Health Hospital Rockwall coming up as well. This is a really big drive here for Heath. I feel like if you get a score here, it really just changes where this game is at, and especially if you can make this a one-score game before halftime.
So the Hawks come back out, second down and 10, trying to get something going here. 4:20 left to go in the first half. Fakes a handoff to Zom, throws it down the left side, incomplete for Eli Contreras, trying to back shoulder it. Going to bring up third down and 10.
That was a good pass by Prosper Neal. Contreras just couldn't quite get turned around in time. So third down and 10. Carter Zom's made some plays tonight on these particular third down plays. Let's see if they look for Zom is not out. Actually, he's going to line up in the slot. Look at that on the top of your screen right there on the hash marks. Look for number 23.
Third down and 10. Neal back to pass, looking down the left side, and that's exactly where he goes, but just overthrows. Carter Zom had him downfield.
He had pressure in his face because you're right. He had Zom on the wheel route down the far sideline there by the Heath side, and just a little bit too much on. I know Prosper would like to have that one back.
Hawks soccer coach Phil Duhan checking in, just him and Logan watching, saying 122 days until soccer season.
Does he call it football or soccer, though?
He did say soccer here.
We have a false start on the Hawks. That H-back moved early.
So fourth down and 10. You'd think this is just a little too far out to be faking it here. Now definitely is, as the Hawks defense has been coming up big. Neal has been pinning Guyer pretty well on the punts. That one goes off the right side of Neal's foot, and that is going to go out of bounds. And that is going to be about a 10-yard punt. So Guyer's going to take over at the 46-yard line. 4:03 left to go. Got a few more shout-outs here to get to. Will Arrington, Dr. Arrington texting in from back home, and Jessica Courtney got the kids. Aiden and Kylie are watching, saying hi to Coach Courtney. He's just two booths over from us. Saw him earlier Ready for football season, saying, let's go Hawks. Got the picture there and everything. So the Wildcats offense back out, trips to the right. Morgan, quick throw to the left, got his man. There is a flag on the play. Going to see what the call is. Might have had blocking a little bit early on this.
Yeah, this is going to be coming back. Yeah, it's a hold. They had 3 receivers on that far side for Guyer, and he gave it to DJ Reese, but a hold, that's going to back him up, make it 1st and long here for Guyer. And here's the story. I know for some of you haven't been able to watch that first quarter. It's been Guyer's had, just field position in midfield or even better most of the nights. They've had a short field. Their first touchdown came after a long punt return and a 25-yard drive. Their second touchdown was after a long play on a pass to DJ Reese that set up that second touchdown.
So 1st down and 10 now, back to the 41-yard line. Morgan looking to the left the whole way under duress, and he is lit up right as he throws it. None other than number 16, Carson Adams on the blitz.
I don't know if they have cloned anyone yet, but I feel like he's literally everywhere on the field all at one time. He's rushing the quarterback. He's dropping back in coverage. That time he drilled Morgan in the ribs. That had to hurt.
If you've seen the videos this summer on Twitter, he was right there with Zom and Neal doing a lot of the agility training, and Carson Adams. These guys have been working hard. Running back screen in the middle, has a man. Well-designed screen by Guyer, and that is Zane Rowe on the tight end middle screen. That's going to pick up a gain of about 15, bring up 3rd down and 5. Quickly back to the line. 3 receivers stacked to the left, looking to the right now on the hitch and go. Has a man caught right at the sideline, and a nice throw and a nice catch by DJ Reese, and the Wildcats are now inside the 15.
Yeah, Heath was a little bit late getting set up defensively when Guyer hurried to the line, and he just dropped that one in the bucket down that far side on single man coverage.
Quickly back to the line. Fakes the handoff, rolls around the right side. Hawks had it defended well. Morgan makes nothing into something as he gets just inside the 10-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 5 and a nice individual effort hanging it down because the Hawks defense had that one blown up in the backfield.
And I think a couple Hawks thought he was going out of bounds because it looked like he's headed that direction, then just kind of tiptoed in and got about 4 yards.
Former Hawks trainer Coach Katie Hindeleiter also texting in. Second down 7. Handoff. Villegas bounces it to the outside, to the corner. He is out of bounds down at the 2-yard line. Going to be 1st down and go. Nice individual effort by Villegas.
Yeah, Villegas, he's got some big, sturdy legs. Right up the middle. He breaks 2 tackles, as you see, and bounces it out. And so Guyer's got a chance to add to that lead here, and they're going to bring some other row, that big tight end who's defensive end, their star defensive end is going to come and
I have a feeling if they don't get in on this play, we may see a couple of 90s in there again. Heavy set for Guyer. Pitch on the little middle screen. The ball's on the ground. Fumble picked up by the Hawks. And the turnover is made.
Bradley Spicer with that recovery.
Bradley Spicer with the fumble recovery. Trying to see who made the tackle there.
It looks like Landon Foster.
Landon Foster with the play of the game so far turns away the Guyer Wildcats with 3:03 left to play in the half. And that's going to deny Guyer for the second time inside the 10-yard line.
Hey, the fundamentals is to get on the ball, but I tell you what, if Spicer tries to pick that ball up, he might have gone the distance. There was nobody near him, but that was a huge hit by Landon Foster. They just ran a little shovel pass there that you see like the Kansas City Chiefs run a lot with Mahomes to Kelsey. That's what they ran the row that time. And so, huge turn of events here.
Also got a text in for former right tackle for the Heath Hawks, Big Ian Morgan, checking in with us. Also Travis Rowlett listening in from back home. And the Hawks, man, you just feel like if they can just get something going on the offense, this defense has come up huge tonight here.
You know, we give love to some of these Guyer defensive linemen. Talk about Landon Foster. This kid's going to UTSA. He chose UTSA over Colorado State, North Texas, Texas State. He's a 3-year starter here at Heath because he makes plays like that. And, this defense, you take away those first couple drives, they have really settled in. And I think greatly improved from what we saw at this scrimmage last week. And so I think Coach Dick's got to be happy about that.
The Hawks hanging in there. Guyer has had them outmanned so far tonight.
Our game is brought to you in part by Rest Haven Funeral Home, part of the Rockwall community for more than 50 years. Rest Haven Funeral Home, proud of the relationships they built throughout the community. Proud to support Rockwall ISD Athletics. A big thank you to Rest Haven Funeral Home.
Timbo Duncan texting in, talking about the JV White won last night 17-14, and the JV Black won 14-7, and had 3 touchdowns called back. So,
how many JV teams are there?
There is always 2 and sometimes 3.
Okay.
So that is it goes all the way back. There's been a long line of coaches here. Coach Spradlin texting in early, all the way back. Mickey Moss before that, and Coach Spradlin, and then Coach Webb here recently. I believe last year they had 300-something kids in the program. Nice tradition here at Heath. A lot of hard work by a lot of good coaches here. And Coach Casey Dick in his first appearance here tonight, maiden voyage for the Hawks. It'd be nice if he can get this figured out on the offense. Hawks still very much in this.
Yeah, the one quote that I love what Casey said, I said, what's the best piece of advice you've ever gotten from, he's played for Houston Nutt at Arkansas. He's been around Bobby Petrino. He said, Coach Nutt told me when I played for him, there'll be ups and downs like tonight. There'll be ups and downs. There'll be highs and lows. Don't get caught in the moment. Don't get too high. Don't get too low. Just stay calm. And that's kind of been the theme tonight for Heath. They haven't got down too low. They haven't got too high. And they're still in this game after a big play a moment ago by Landon Foster and the recovery by Bradley Spicer.
Got the old crew texting in, the Nelson Sanders and the Stooksburys watching from Willie Nelson's Hog Nest with the Moravics. And that is they'll be a mainstay every week texting in. Also got some of the other crew. Not sure. This is a pretty long delay here.
There's no injuries. The officials have been huddling right there for a good 5 minutes now.
Maybe it's their videos out. Maybe it's a conspiracy here. Tanya Miller texting in as always, saying, "Go Hawks!" Great turnover. Tanya Miller, another one.
Well,
been here since the school started.
There we go. There's our number to text in.
Yeah, text in, as always, 972-742-3877. Hawks will be back in action next week at the Hawks Nest. Say you're going to be coming in hot on that one.
Yeah, I'm coming in from Gunnison, Colorado, from calling a college football game the previous night, and my plane lands, quote unquote, lands at 4 p.m. on a Friday afternoon at DFW. Good luck Do you have like a helicopter? I watch Yellowstone right now. Is there a helicopter that can pick me up and maybe drop me off at the stadium?
There's some helicopters around, but I don't have one. I woke up this morning in Detroit, Michigan at about 3 o'clock our time. Nick Phillips, another former Hawk, is a freshman out in Lubbock, Texas Tech, texting in saying, "Go Hawks." Blake Greener, blast from the pass, watching from down south in Houston, checking in on the Hawks. Malachi Tuzno, watching in with Ian Morgan.
I think we might take a little break here. We're going to try to figure out what the heck is going on. I'm going to go next door because there's clearly a stoppage. I don't know if it's the clock or there's a game day.
Or could there be? It couldn't be weather, could it?
No, if it was weather, we've already made that announcement.
So there is a deal. We'll go ahead and catch up. Also, Todd Bradford, the Todd father, principal at Heath High School. So Todd and Will Bradford watching from Norman, Oklahoma. We'll go ahead and get to everybody here. Gabby Duarte, senior Heath cheer. Joe Duarte texting in. We got one coming in here saying we are about to see a Zom bomb go off.
Well, we figured out what happened. It's not a player, but there's somebody. I don't know. Again, we're not going to say where or who it is, but there's someone who needs attention, so they have an ambulance actually coming here, so that's the stoppage.
Okay.
So I think we're going to go ahead and take a quick little break here and get a couple of our sponsors in, and got a few minutes here.
All right, we'll be right back. 3:03 left to go in the first half. Hawks trailing 14-0, trying to cash in on a big turnover on the Rockwall ISD Sports Network.
It's a great team to score big. Let's see what Home Bank Texas can do on the field.
With local bankers on your team, you don't need a Hail Mary to reach your financial goals.
At Home Bank Texas, we go the extra yard for the families, neighbors, and businesses that call Rockwall Heath home.
Now that's a touchdown.
This is Dr. Cassidy here from T3 Chiropractic. Your body takes hits on and off the field. Here at T3 Chiropractic, we believe chiropractic care is an important part of staying healthy, staying active, and most importantly, staying well. T3 Chiropractic, we are proudly helping build a healthier community, one family at a time.
All right, so the delay is over. We hope whoever that was is okay with somebody in the stands. Hawks now first down and 10 from their own 6-yard line. Neal screen to the right. Contreras caught out across the 10-yard line. 4-yard gain to start the drive.
Bubble screen there to Contreras. So here's that. I mean, you got 2:54 on the clock. Clock is running. You got 2 timeouts. They got to go the full length of the field here. But, I mean, definitely a possibility if Heath can get a big play, maybe get a score here before halftime.
Second down, 6. Hawks trying to get out of the hole here. Defense coming up big. 2:36 rolling on the clock. Throw down the middle, caught by Zom. That's going to be enough for a first down. Gain of 10 out to the 20-yard line. Hawks on the move.
You see a lot of times the running back will help chip and block that number 0 on your screen. He's the one we talked about, Zane Rowe. But when your running back is maybe your best receiver, he's going to go out there and run a pattern. And Zom, man, he's just got some great hands in the way he runs routes.
First down 10 for the Hawks. 3 receivers to the left. Neal back to pass, looking down the middle. That's going to be intercepted. Back to the 40, down to the 35-yard line. Neal looking for Contreras the whole way, and a nice defensive effort by the Wildcats.
Yeah, that's that safety who's forced to fumble, Paxton Williams. He was playing deep, and he just kind of baited Prosper into a deep pass. Neal never saw him and makes that interception. And that was the one thing we were saying. It's tough. You don't want to make a mistake this late in the half. And, again, Guyer's got great field position.
2:02 left to go in the first half. Hawks defense going to be asked to come up big again here before the half. Guyer offense back on the field. Morgan checks to the sideline. Villegas shifts to the right. Looking down the left side all the way, has a man, and a great play by Colton Lawfrey to get the interception. They're going to call a foul, I believe, on the Hawks for pass interference as Colton Lawfrey comes out of nowhere, gets the interception. Checking the flag.
What?
That is going to be pass interference on the Hawks, going to negate the interception. And a great individual effort there by Colton Lawfrey. He's going to go for naught.
Yeah, Amadric Berryman made that contact just before Lawfrey made that interception. I mean, that was the right call, but it was just moments away from him being picked off, and that's a tough break for Heath, and that was an athletic play.
That was Colton Lawfrey, returning starter from the safety position. That is too bad, as
got the 2-minute timeout now.
2 minutes left to go in the half. As the textoid is blowing up here, got Michelle Mitchell texting in. Got Luke Mitchell is at the Naval Academy. He was another one. He was one of those senior linebackers we were talking about last year, and also Cole Mitchell, little brother. He was set to be the starting one of the middle linebackers, and he's got shoulder surgery. We wish him well. So first down at 10 now from the 20. Back to pass, screen to the left over the outstretched arms of Villegas, and this Hawks defensive line is getting in on Morgan and making him unload it a little bit quicker than he wants to.
Yeah, Landon Foster again. That was a Mott Cham that thought about maybe almost making that interception. He was moments away from picking that one off, but see if the D can come up big again here.
3 receivers to the left. Villegas to the right of Morgan. Surveys the field. Morgan takes the snap. Rolls to the right. Has down the middle. And another great play once again by, I believe, is that, let's see, don't want to call the wrong guy. Can't see the number.
That's Contreras. Yeah, Christian. That is Lawfrey.
Lawfrey.
Yeah.
Lawfrey with another great play as he was having to cover the receiver man for man. Sorry, we could not see the number. Didn't want to get that one wrong. Colton Lawfrey probably could have guessed that one. He is all over the field.
He got his paw in there and knocked it out at the last moment.
So third down and 10 now. Hawks defense trying to come up big again. Morgan looking down the right side, throwing, nothing doing. And the Hawks defense comes up big again. That's going to be a 4th down and 10, and the field goal unit's going to come on.
So we're going to watch that replay. Watch the blitz on both sides here. They just ripped up Morgan in the backfield, and he had to hurry that pass down the sideline. So Guyer has already missed one field goal, and if there's any, and it was not even close. That was a 30-yard attempt. This is what, 37?
37-yarder. Off the leg of Johnson. Kick is up. This one is down the middle. So the Hawks defense with another big stop there, but Guyer's going to get 3 points out of that turnover, take a 17-0 lead with 1:38 left to go in the half.
And our game also brought to you in part tonight by Covenant Commercial Real Estate, helping local businesses find their place. From finding the right space to managing day-to-day operations, they handle the details so business owners can focus on what matters most, growing their business. Contact Stan Britton at 469-698-5609. That's Covenant Commercial Real Estate, proud supporter of Rockwall ISD Athletics. In fact, our halftime show coming up soon is brought to you in part by Covenant Commercial Real Estate and Stan Britton.
Stan Britton and the crew watching from back home, texting in earlier, and used to sit in the same seat here. He actually sat in this seat, and I was sitting in yours. Many, many games, many great memories calling games with Stan Britton.
I've heard you tell stories, good stories about Stan.
Glad to see he's doing good. Covenant Commercial Real Estate. 1:38 left to go in the half. This one is going to get into the end zone. So the Hawks, minute 38 left. That last time they had gotten out of the hole, and you had talked about it. Couldn't afford to have the turnover, but the Hawks defense coming up big again. Now the Hawks offense trying to get something going.
Guyer is just right now pinning their ears back, that defensive line coming after. And so they're coming after that quarterback, Prosper Neal. So look for, I think, Heath to maybe try to slow it down.
So we were being corrected on the textoid. That was DeCorian Wilson had the big hit on that forced fumble earlier. Appreciate the help from the text line. Throw down the left side as Neal overthrows Contreras.
Yeah, he had Eli open. But again, he's running to his left, and he's a right-handed quarterback. That's a really tough throw to make.
We apologize time to time. We do not have 30 spotters like the NFL callers. So,
well, I will
we
say
don't have people in our ears. So occasionally we do get the wrong people. We apologize. We know that it's important to the families to get the right players. Neal tucks it, runs down the right side. He's going to duck down. Positive play. That is going to be 6-yard gain. Bring up 3rd down and 4. Clock rolling. 1:20 on the clock.
Yeah, DeCorian Wilson and Landon Foster both have been playing very well. DeCorian Wilson's made several big plays tonight on that defense to keep this close, and now you got to call a timeout here. I mean, there's still a lot of time left to go in this first half. You got a 3rd down and 4? So let's see if they can make a play here. But Prosper Neal made a big scramble there to give them a chance to have a manageable 1st down conversion.
This will be a big one here. If they can convert at least one more and run some more clock off here in the first half. Don't want to give it back to Guyer at this point. And the Hawks need to go get some points. Got Coach Ben Wardlow watching from back home. Heath Hawks golf coach. Appreciate everybody out in the Hog Nation texting in.
The last play on the top of your screen, you see 0. He's standing up there for Dyer. He just ran over a couple of Hawks last time, so they got to try to find a way to slow him down.
3rd down and 4. And the pass is knocked down by that big defensive line. That is not going to be a live ball. That is an incomplete pass.
I am not sure why they let this play continue. There was no doubt that was an incomplete pass.
That was not even close. Assuming they're going to get this right, and it's going to be a 4th down. That was a batted down ball as the Hawks coaches are arguing. And the officials get together and get it right.
Okay. Yeah. They have gotten together a couple times tonight, and that's okay. Sometimes you need to get together, get on the same page. But I think at halftime you'll see Coach Dick and his whole staff, offensive coordinator, try to figure out some ways to, like a lot of teams, slow down this Guyer pass rush. And if they don't get to the quarterback, that's happened, 2-3 times tonight where they've knocked down the pass.
That has, and so the Hawks offense still haven't been able to sustain the long drive. They have driven deep one time in the half, but can't say enough about this Hawks defense. Neal with a driving punt. That's going to be fielded. Got room, cuts it back to the right. Down inside the 30-yard line, and another huge play by DJ Reese.
It's coming back, though. There was a block in the back. There's 2 flags down. Is right in front. You'll see the 2 flags there at the 30-yard line. Watch this right here. Number 12 in your screen. I think it's number 12 right here, right? He's going to get blocked right there in the back and right in front of the official. Pretty easy call.
Good job by Tristan Rodden picking up the instant replays. Brian James on the camera. So that is going to pin the Wildcats back a little bit further. Appreciate everybody texting in tonight. Got Prosper and Edgar Neal's grandparents, the Levitts, friends Rita and Gerald Chains in Fort Worth, watching Prosper and Edgar Neal tonight.
And you know Prosper has already made his commitment going to Marist University. Committed there to play for the Foxes FCS program in the Pioneer Football League.
Prosper number 5 in the class, I believe. And that's at about 700 kids.
Yeah, that's a tough school to go to over there in the Northeast.
So the Wildcats now at their own 19, 54 seconds left to go in the half. We'll see how they play this one. Morgan's going to hand off to Villegas. Around the left side, that's going to be a gain of 11 yards, and that will now put them into hurry-up mode.
Good, nice lead block by their left tackle. Clock is running, though. They're out of timeouts.
Looking back over, you had mentioned they'd used all 3 of those timeouts pretty early in the first half. Back to pass, looking down the left side, has a man caught down out close to midfield. It's going to be down around the 48-yard line. Clock's going to stop just long enough to move the chains. 22 seconds left to go. Guyer hustles back to the line. Clock rolling now, down to 15 seconds. Back to pass, looking across the middle. Caught, tackled immediately by Carson Phillips. And that is going to be it for the half.
Yeah,
so the Guyer Wildcats, 17 points on the board. Hawks defense coming up big to keep it there. We'll see if they can get it going here in the second half. And Jeremy, thoughts on the first half?
Well, just the way that last play ended is a hard hit by Decorian Wilson right into the quarterback's ribs. And they are just coming after Guyer's quarterback, Morgan. I thought the defense really played well after that first couple drives. They were really the stars that first half. Now, the Heath offense, they've had some moments. They've had a couple turnovers, but if they can find ways to maybe slow down that pass rush, get maybe Carter Zahn more involved and go back to Contreras and just give Prosper Neal a chance to make plays. I really like their chances to make a comeback in the second half.
So for your halftime entertainment, we're going to see the Heath Hawks High Steppers under the direction of Jessica Clark and the Mighty Hawk Band under the direction of Chris Lloyd. We'll come back after the band and set up the second half. You're watching Heath Hawks football on the Rockwall ISD Sports Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rockwall Heath High School proudly presents the 22nd line of the national champion, Rockwall Heath High Steppers. The High Steppers, known as the Heart of Heath, will entertain you tonight while performing their traditional entrance to the Broadway musical Ringo song entitled Best Stepping in My Heart. High Steppers are proud to announce Miss Blue Queen, Jane Kilo, Miss Arkin, Kay Dixon, Miss Jump Splits, Robin Baker, and High Steppers is Miss Emily Pope. This is Jessica Park, assistant director is Miss Taylor Curtis. standings. Ladies and gentlemen, the referee, Marty Huckman.
I'm Catherine King with Rockwall Sports Network, and I'm here with Heath cheerleaders Lily, Gabby, Grayson, and Ashley. Girls, how are we feeling about tonight's game being the first big one of the season, especially being a home way against Denton Guyer?
I am so thrilled for tonight, and it's going to be a great season.
I am super pumped for tonight, and I'm so glad we're playing Denton Guyer.
I'm super excited for tonight. I think it's going to be a super successful season. I am super ecstatic for the game tonight, and I cannot wait to kick this off as our first competition of the season.
Great. Do y'all have any special performances planned or actually any skills planned for tonight at the game?
We actually have some new band dances to debut, so we're really excited about that.
And new stunts. And new tumbling and jumps that we're super excited to perform on the sidelines.
And tomorrow night we have our Southside Showcase at Rockwall Heath. The Pack, be there at 7.
Great. Thank you so much, girls.
Welcome back to the Texas Health Hospital Rockwall halftime show. Shannon Rodden, and we are joined now by Catherine King, part of our student broadcast team. Catherine, that interview there, you've been quite busy here lately. I believe now we have Catherine with us. Catherine, can you hear us? Or Tristan, we are not getting Catherine's. I do not believe we're getting Catherine's audio there.
By the way, halftime again, it's 17-0 here, and we'll give you a little kind of recap how the first half went while you guys get all this underway here in just a couple of minutes. Heath has forced a takeaway, actually 2 takeaways in this ball game, and so Guyer scored early in the first drive of the game, to take it 7-0.
You bet. So, Jeremy, we're typical first game highlights. We're going to give the microphone over here to Miss Catherine King, part of our student broadcast team. And Catherine, glad to have you aboard.
Good to be here.
You bet. So, been quite busy. You got the video there. I saw you and the team. You also got Coda Klein and Evan Carucci. Y'all been working very hard. And tell us what all's going on in the Hog Nation.
Well, right now, Evan and Coda are over at home with the Rockwall game, and I think they're doing pretty good over there. Over here, I spoke with a few of our cheerleaders, and they are having their showcase tomorrow night at 7. So it would mean a lot to them if the community can be out there to support. There's going to be Rayco cheer and Can cheer. But everything else is looking good. Drill team's looking good. We have our co-captains, Audrey and Kira. It's the first year we've had co-captains, so it looks like they're doing pretty good. And I'm excited to see how this season goes with them.
You bet. So let everybody out in the Hawk Nation know you're part of our Hawk broadcast team under Chris Curtis getting that going this year. And certainly glad to have you during the home games. Going to have you on the sidelines. You guys will be shooting video throughout the games, sending it out online. And tonight, these Hawks actually down 17-0, but made some big plays. Still got a chance here, don't we?
Yes, I believe we do. The defense, we're playing pretty good today. It looks the Colton Lafferty. See him flying through the air over there.
Making some big plays.
Yes, sir.
Well, Catherine, we appreciate you joining us here on the Rockwall Health Hospital halftime show, and we look forward to more clips throughout the game.
Perfect. Thank you so much for having me.
You bet. That is Catherine King, senior, Rockwall Heath High School, part of our student broadcast team, joining us here on the halftime show. And now, Jeremy, we kind of ups and downs, just like our broadcast there, getting a little bit of trouble getting launched, but this defense coming up big.
Yeah, and again, want to give a shout out to Covenant Commercial Real Estate and Stan Britton, our halftime sponsor. They help local businesses find their place. They'll help you find the right space. They're managing day-to-day operations. Stan and his group will handle the details so that business owners can focus on what matters most to growing your business. Call Stan 469-698-5609 at Covenant Commercial Real Estate, proud supporter of Rockwall ISD Athletics. Going back to kind of answer your question is, you look at this. I was trying to get some stats here, but their stats just went down. But in that first half, we mentioned the defense, and there was moments where the Rockwall offense looked good. Carter Zom had that one run of, I think, 30, over 30 yards. So I think more, it's really, if you could break it down in one sense, it's just consistency offensively, and they're gonna have to find maybe bring a tight end or a running back or bring some extra blockers in the backfield to help with that pass rush, because Prosper, it feels like more times than not, is just running for his life, which honestly every quarterback you face as Guyer is usually in the same situation.
You bet. The Hawks can come out and establish early here in the second half, can still turn this around. Plenty of firepower there, but looking at that defensive line, DeCorian Wilson coming up with a huge hit there to force the fumble, and several big plays. We talked about Colton Lawfrey there in the backfield, and you've also got some big plays from the defense. Bradley Spicer, the sophomore, coming up with the fumble recovery after Wilson's hit, and so the defense keeping them in it, but the offense, like you say, you got to keep it going. Contreras almost busted out a couple of times, and Prosper Neal, like you said, get a little more time and try to get Zom out into space and hopefully get back in this in the second half.
Yeah, because you'd love to see Heath stretch the field and have a downfield threat and get Prince Hobbs maybe involved in some of those deep threats for the Hawks in that second half. I will say this. You watched it last night. Jinx up in Oklahoma playing South Lake Carroll. They're up 27-0. Carroll came back. There's the game on. It's on ESPN right now. It's actually, what was it, Mount Carmel, and I'm trying to make – they're playing another school from New Jersey. Anyway, it was – Mount Carmel was behind 21-0 and came back and won that game. So I'm just trying to say – crazier things have happened this week. You just never know.
That's right. We have had over 40 texts here in the first half. Appreciate everybody listening in. Going to try to get to everybody, but of course we want to stick to the game as well. Got a shout out to Bryce Edmonds, part of the Hawks band. Grandparents texting in from Knoxville. Appreciate that support. Also got Peyton Marceau checking in, said they had their first game at USF yesterday, saying go Coup. Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Okay, I was going to say, I was trying to think USF. I thought they were the Bulls, but that's University of Sioux Falls.
Sioux Falls.
Okay.
That's right. Peyton Marceau,
they're deep too. That's right.
Defensive lineman here for the Hawks. Created havoc there for years. Also got Truman Nixon texting in. We already said Coach Ben Wardlow, and trying to get to everybody here. Also got a future Hawk quarterback, Hudson Hopkins, class of 2042, texting in with his family listening in back at Heath. Like I say, trying to make sure that we don't miss anybody. Coach Zach Randall and his family, Hawks former baseball coach, and Ryan Randall, currently coach down that is just a couple of boxes down from us. Also part of the baseball crew listening in from back home.
As the kid from is the kid that's committed to the class of 2042, has he already made a commitment to play college football?
Well, he has definitely made a commitment to play at Heath High School already, and already trying out for quarterback.
Okay.
So, we're going to have to keep an eye on him as we go. But got some other texts coming in for the Hawks. Eli Henley, former Hawk linebacker, texting in, and got some others trying to catch us on the pronunciation of some names here. But
Uh-oh.
appreciate everybody out in the Hog Nation as the Hogs coming back out of the tunnel trying to get it going. And, Jeremy, what are the keys to the second half?
Well, keys to the second half, I think, for Heath. You can't make up 17 points in one drive, one series. So just try to, honestly, I know it sounds cliche, but really just approach it play by play, series by series. And I think, again, like I said before, on the offensive end, the offense has got to find some consistency, get some help up front for that offensive line. And then just if Prosper Neal can make some plays, I like their chances here in the second half. And when I asked Coach Dick, I said, what makes Prosper so special? He said he's the most calm, collect quarterback. The way he just sits back there, and he's a kid that doesn't talk a whole lot, he said, but when he speaks, our whole team listens. And so I'm sure, halftime, guys like Prosper Neal and Carson Adams and those other seniors, I'm sure, trying to get the rest of the team rallied here for the second half.
Miss Fawnensteel texted in also saying, go Hogs. Got great students, football, volleyball, band, cheer, drill team, all great. Got the Thompsons checking in from Michigan. That's where I just came from this morning. James and Marty Thompson up there. We just swapped places. And
was it cool up there?
Oh, it was. It did get above 75 a couple times.
Oh man.
So set to kick off here in the second half, and the Hogs kick off by Hanby Insurance. And that is Braden Winters with his first kickoff of the game. It's going to be brought out to the 37-yard line.
I think that's one thing that'll be addressed next week in practice. The special teams has kind of struggled tonight at times for Heath as far as just kickoff and punt coverage downfield. And it kind of goes back to our theme tonight. I mean, Denton Guyer, have they started a series inside their own 30? I don't think they have. Maybe one time.
Yep, just the time that they stopped the Hogs on defense.
Yeah.
On the fumble recovery. That is the only time. So the Wildcats start out first down and 10 from the 38. Hawks defense trying to stand up as Bradley Spicer and Colton Laughrey meet Villegas in the backfield. Like I say, we had a upset texture earlier that we'd gotten the wrong name. We apologize for that. We do not have spotters. This is not ESPN. We do the best we can. But it is important to us. We love the corrections. Just hope everybody keeps it clean out there. 11:25 left to go. Throw down the middle, not in time, and that was another one. The Hawks defensive line busting through, and that is number 8, Landon Foster, along with number 51, Jarrett Simpson, getting through and making Carter Morgan throw it quicker than he wants to.
Yeah, Foster and Wilson and guys like Adams, they have gotten to the quarterback Morgan more often than not since really the end of the first quarter. So 3rd and 6 here. Number 1, bottom of your screen. He's going to be the target most likely here for Morgan. Let's see how the Hawks play him.
Trips to the right. Reese in motion to the left. They've got one-on-one actions. Going to throw it down there. Curls it up, and it's going to be enough for the first down, and that was exactly what you had said there as Modric Berryman was on an island, able to bring him down, not for a first down.
Well, they brought him in motion because that way it's man-to-man coverage for the Hawks.
Guyer's offense has nice design as trips to the left. They throw the screen out there, got the block. It'll be a gain of about 6 as the screen game for Guyer works, and especially when you have that deep threat. Defense can't just go up there and smother the screen passes. Second down and 5. Cross midfield down to the 45-yard line of the Hawks. Guyer on the move here to start the second half. Quick throw out to the left, but another throw goes high as Morgan with those quick feet, and that Hawks defensive line getting through.
Yeah, that time is Wilson there coming through for Heath. Also there in the middle, that was Jarrett Simpson. You know, and Coach Dick talked to me about how explosive Simpson is. So, again, another 3rd down and 5 here for Guyer.
Blitz coming. Throw complete, but nowhere to go. That's going to bring up 4th down and 5. This is the first time tonight. Interesting spot here. You got a 17-point lead. 4th down and 5. You are in Hawks territory. They're going to send out the punt team. Imagine the Hawks defense is going to be on alert here.
Well, that was Carson Adams that came free on that blitz. And that's, watch this blitz, number 16, right here on the bottom of your screen. And he forces that pass coming early to Villegas. He bobbled it, or else that's a 1st down.
4th down and 5. They are in punt formation.
Well, Hawks maybe jumped off sides.
Another flag. That is not going to be good, as Laughley is going to return it out across the 20. If the Hawks are offsides here, that's going to drive Coach Casey Dick crazy.
Nope, it's a legal procedure. So someone left early.
Okay, so they did the quick huddle. They did the quick huddle. Probably didn't get set for a full. Got to get set for a full second before you snap it. So they are moving the chain. So Laughley doing a good job taking that one out of the air, not letting it roll down inside the 20 and getting it out across the 20.
There's number 22 in the bottom of your screen there, the gunner. He actually lined up off sides. And so they were talking to Coach Dick, do you want to take the punt or do you want to re-kick?
Well, they did add the 5 yards onto the end of the run there. So Hawks going to take over 1st down and 10 from the 26-yard line.
Got 10 minutes left to go here in this 3rd quarter.
Prosper Neal back to pass, flushed out to the right, has room. Flag down in the backfield. Neal's going to run for a 1st down. We'll see what the flag is.
That's usually by the umpire. That's a hold typically. That was far away from the play, but they are going to call the hold. I just don't like whether it's Heath or Guyer when they call a holding call when it really does not affect the play. That was a good 10 yards from where Neal was, but that's going to back him up 10.
So big penalty here early in the Hawks' first drive of the second half. That's going to take him back to the 16-yard line, bring up 1st down and 20.
Well, it was good to see Prosper get a little bit of time to look downfield and at least try to throw the ball.
Davenport shifts to the left. And off to Zom. In the backfield, bobbles the ball for a second, able to jump back on it. But that's going to be another loss of 6 on the play. Going to bring up 2nd down and 26 now.
That was Zane Rowe, that number 0 right there on your screen. He had 26 tackles for a loss last year. He does everything for this Guyer Wildcats team. And he's one big reason why it's tough to run.
Hawks high steppers there on the screen. Fabulous halftime show. So 2nd down and a 1/4 mile.
It'll be 5 yards further. Everyone moved, but Cole Carter did not snap the ball, so not everyone quite on the same page. And so now it's got 2nd down and 30.
2nd down now, and almost a third of the field. It's going backwards here to start the second half.
Shannon's doing fractions. I can't do fractions. It's too early in the season.
Quick throw down the middle, caught. Going to get back another fraction of the necessary yardage. A quick throw to Contreras. As that is going to bring up 3rd down and 22. Don't have a lot of plays in the playbook for 3rd and 22.
You know what? I don't know. Maybe I'm making this up, but sometimes if you just throw it deep and see if you can get a pass interference call, that's sometimes maybe your best hope in these kind of situations.
Neal rolls to the right, looking deep. And that ball will be batted as he throws it. And that's going to be another 3 and out for the Hawks. Got a big shout out. The Heath Hawks girls flag football, under the direction of Coach Matt Jones, state champions this summer. Haley Harper, the quarterback, and the team, first ever Texas high school state champion. Girls flag football, that is really taken off nationwide.
Well, you know, it's going to be an Olympic sport in 2028 in Los Angeles, and I'm sure they'll have a women's flag football team, too, at the Olympics.
Absolutely. So another high punt angled to go out of bounds across midfield and will be marked at the 48-yard line.
Now there's a flag at the bottom of the screen. You'll see right here near the Guyer sideline. I'm curious if this is going to be after the punt, because if it's before the punt, then it'd be a first down for Heath. But I imagine this would be after the punt.
Officials talk about it. So no foul.
Okay.
You said that would have been a disaster on 4th and 22 for Guyer. So the Hawks defense going to come back out again. Neither team able to score on their first drive of the second half. 7:58 left to play in the third. Rockwall and Prosper locked in a high-scoring battle. They are Prosper up 42-31 at halftime. So that's a lot of points, one half of football.
The way Heath is bringing pressure, how about a pick six? Get your maybe get some points on the board to start the season with your defense.
Morgan pulls it back down, throws it out, throws dangerous as the Hawks had it defended well. As Morgan trying to throw it out to Cash Bird, and the Hawks sniffing it out.
That's Amat Cham. We've said his name a few times tonight. But you see Morgan, he's got a little bit of happy feet. I mean, the more this Hawks defensive line and linebackers come after him, he's going to start to hear footsteps.
Second down, 10. Two receivers each side for the Wildcats. Morgan back to pass, screen to the right, overthrows a man again. He was trying to get it to Villegas, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 10, and that's exactly what's going on. This Hawks defensive line is just pinning their ears back and going.
Yeah, that was a blitz on both sides, and we talk about how Prosper Neal has no time to throw. I mean, right now, for Guyer, Carter Morgan has no time. I mean, they're going with screen passes and still has no time to throw. So 3rd and 10, look for the Hawks to come after him.
Three receivers to the right, single set on the left. Morgan rolls to the right as the Hawks defense got tied up. There is flags downfield. Morgan is going to run for the first down. We'll see what the flag is.
There's a Heath coach all the way almost near the hash marks. Carson Adams got wrestled. That should have been a flag.
He got tied up inside.
See, watch this replay here. I mean, there should be a hold on the offensive line of Guyer. And Adams was calling for a flag, and that's why I think the Hawks defensive coordinator is upset. Now, there's a flag in the secondary.
They're going to catch the Hawks for holding there.
Yeah, that was Adams. Should have been an offsetting call. I didn't see the hold called against Heath. I think they said Nick Junadu. So that'll be a first down for Guyer.
So trips to the left. Morgan, keeper up the middle, not much doing as the Hawks defense all over it, led by number 40, Jalen McNeil. First time we've called his name tonight.
Yeah, Foster was there as well. I mean, if you're a Heath defender, at this point, you want to try to knock that ball out. You got to find a way to get a takeaway.
McNeil is 6'1", 215-pound sophomore defensive lineman getting in on the action. Villegas around the left side, muscles his way forward. It's going to be a gain of about 5. Going to bring up third down at 4. Clock rolling, under 7 minutes left to go in the third.
Yeah, these offensive linemen for Guyer on that left side, they're 280, 280, got 290. And so these running backs, all they're doing, they're short in stature, about 5'8". They're just following those big uglies on the left-hand side.
Line's that big, it'll wear you down. 6:24 left to go. Fumbles the snap. It is on the ground, ball rolling around. Hawks gonna recover.
There's that takeaway.
And who else? Number 36.
Bradley Spicer.
Spicer with his second turnover of the game.
Watch the low
sophomore linebacker.
Yeah, low snap. Then he tried to hand it off, and Villegas had the ball knocked out of his hands. So you can see the initial hit that knocked it out.
Looks like number 40.
Yep, you're right. That's Jalen McNeil. You just mentioned his name.
40 and 16 in there. And also number 1, DeCorian Wilson, all met at the quarterback. And Spicer scoops it up again. Second turnover of the night for the Hawks. So now screen pass out to the right. That's going to go incomplete, trying to hit Prince Hobbs. Had the blockers out in front, and the Hawks just not able to connect as both of these defensive lines are just getting in there so fast. Both quarterbacks, hard to stay patient.
We saw the low shotgun snap to Morgan of Guyer a moment ago. That low shotgun snap, that just messes up the timing, especially got a quick little pass on the sideline. Just a little small thing like that early in the season.
Trip to the right. Now throw to the right, caught, tackled immediately as Contreras. Gain of 5 on the play is going to bring up third down and 5, and you got to feel that the Hawks really going to need to make something happen pretty quick. Definitely have to get the next score to have any chance.
They've had some tough times on third downs tonight. A good, one way to win on the road is convert on third downs.
Zom split to the slot on the left side. Back to pass is Neal, and he is gobbled up in the backfield. That is going to be a quarterback sack. And another 3 and out for the Hawks. They're going to have to punt.
Logan Loki, that backside pressure.
You're absolutely right. When the snap's off, got to hit on those screen passes, and when they get behind the chains against this defensive line, they just pin their ears back a little bit more. Makes it more difficult. So the Hawks, another 3 and out. Neal back to punt again. So Bradley Spicer, 2 fumble recoveries tonight. As rugby style punt, that one's going to be fair caught at the 34-yard line. So both defenses showing up here in the second half. 4:45 left to play. Hawks trailing Guyer Wildcats 17-0 on the Rockwall ISD Sports Network.
We all agree that every goal starts somewhere. Purchasing land for development where a vision can come to life. A flexible space where your business can flourish and grow. Or managing your investment property to get the greatest return. At Covenant Commercial Real Estate, we are committed to your goals because we're committed to you. No matter what you're building or what's ahead, we are here to help. Let's talk about what's next. Covenant Commercial Real Estate, committed to you.
Wildcats back out. First Handoff almost fumbled again. This is defense continuing to get after it. And number 40.
That's McNeil.
Jalen McNeil getting in there again. Sophomore making an impact. 2 sophomores making an impact tonight.
Yeah, that was Villegas again, nearly dropped the ball. It got jarred out of his hands and had to hold on to it.
Jared Simpson creating havoc there in the middle. Another throw out to the left side. The Hawks read it well, but a very athletic play by DJ Reese. Gets it upfield, makes it 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, Reese, he's that one player. He can just really make some moves.
This is 4:04 on the clock. 3rd down and 2 now. Not sure why they're stopping the clock there.
3rd down and 2, yeah. See if they bring another run blitz maybe here. And did they take too much time?
No,
they call it timeout.
Another timeout called by the Wildcats. 4:03 left to go in the 3rd. Another quick word from the sponsors.
Hanby Insurance will keep you covered through all of life's adventures, like our adventures up here tonight. We need Hanby Insurance. For more information, reach out to Aaron Neal at 972-285-0381. Hanby Insurance, the proud supporter of Rockwall ISD Athletics.
Another shout out coming in for Carter Zom from St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh.
So got some.
He's got some ties to Missouri, huh?
Texts coming in from up north.
Now, I saw the list of schools that are interested in recruiting Carter. You got Air Force, East Carolina, UTSA, Navy, UNLV. That's just a few. And again, there are some highlights even tonight. I know the offense has been held in check, but Carter, I mean, every game he's got a highlight reel, it feels like.
He is, and we mentioned earlier some of the videos that we see out there on Instagram from the summer. So impressive, such an impressive young man. 3rd down and 2 now. There's that 4 receivers stacked to the left. Quick throw to the left, and that ball is going to hit the ground again.
Yep.
They're going to say it's incomplete as they were trying to hit the big tight end, Zane Rowe, but I believe that was the right call. He just dropped it.
Yeah, watch the replay here by Smith and Lee Injury Lawyers. Yeah, Carson Adams, first one there, ripped that ball out. But do you see that pursuit? There was 3 Hawks just quickly converging on Rowe. And, man, the Hawks are flying after the ball tonight.
Hawks defense keeping them in it as Simon with a 17-point lead. Hawks coming after it. Lawfrey going to fair catch it at about the 17-yard line. So the Hawks defense continuing to get the ball back to the offense. And you mentioned it, 17 points can be erased, but the Hawks offense going to need to get it going here.
They just need one big play. We've seen a couple big plays in the first half, none yet here in the second half, really by either team. Just one big play could turn this game upside down. And there's, a couple individuals in that Hawks offense that can quickly come up with a big play.
Hawks 1st and 10 from the 17. Back to pass, takes it up the middle, flag in the backfield as Neal slides forward for a short gain, but I believe this one's going to come back as holding on the Hawks offense.
Yeah, I've seen a couple holding calls in the second half, and I mean, it's tough. I mean, it's tough for any offensive lineman against this. Again, what's touted as maybe the best defensive line in Texas. I mean, I would say Heath will not face a tougher defensive line probably the rest of this season.
If they do, it will be in the form of a Longview Lobo.
Yeah.
They've been known to have a few big defensive lines throughout the season. District 10-6A, just 2 more weeks away. We've got Mesquite Horn jumping in, so it'll be a full 7-game district.
Got the home opener next Friday night.
We'll have all the action for you here on the RISD Sports Network. So first down and 20. Draw play to Zom, spins out of it, but nowhere to go. That is going to be just back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that middle just clogged up. I mean, just too many athletes, too big of a presence in the middle of that line. It's tough to go in the playbook on a 2nd and 18, 19 from inside your own 10.
Getting behind the chains, not making it easy for the Hawks. Rolling out to the right, making one-man miss, and going forward is Prosper Neal, as he's going to get a gain of about 9 there. Make it 3rd down and 11. Nice individual effort on the busted play. Looked like Coach Casey Dick was trying to go down and call timeout there. Didn't get it before the snap. Actually worked out for the Hawks as clock rolling down, around 2 minutes left to go here in the 3rd. 3rd down and 11 from their own 15. Hawks need a big one. Neal back to pass. Flush to the left. Getting chased down, nowhere to go. And he'll be brought down by Logan Loki. And that was a lot of speed coming from the backside, chasing down Prosper Neal from behind. Not an easy job.
Yeah, that's a good point. We talked about all these other linemen for Guyer. This is a guy that's not really been recruited much, Logan Loki, at least on 24/7 Sports. But, man, for him to have the speed that chased down Prosper does say a lot.
Another 3 and out for the Hogs. You mentioned getting behind the chains. Line drive punt. That one's going to be fielded around the 45-yard line. Breaks loose up the middle, has room, breaks it to the outside. One man to beat, cuts it back, and Prosper Neal makes the touchdown saving tackle, but there is laundry all over the place. Back around where DJ Reese caught the ball. Have to believe this one's coming back.
Well, right there off the screen, saw 13 grabbing for Heath. Trip Anderson knocked his helmet off, but then Anderson tried to make the tackle with his helmet off, which you're not allowed to do. So there's 3 different flags on the field.
Nice hustle by Andrew Oliver, number 60, downfield to assist on that tackle. But as you had mentioned, the Guyer having trouble. They've always got a potential for a big return with DJ Reese, but that's also first game stuff that the Wildcats will get cleaned up as the season gets going. But they are showing plenty of firepower here tonight. Hawks matching them from the defensive standpoint, but the offense now, once again, not able to get anything going as we near the end of the 3rd period.
By the way, our replays brought to you by Smith and Lee Injury Lawyers. Looks like maybe a cramp there for the Hawks, which, the first game of the season, that's going to happen. Yeah, 3 different penalties. Okay, so that's what I thought. So Cam Sawyer for Guyer. They're going to replay it. So there was 2 on Guyer, 1 on Heath, but they're going to replay it. That's interesting.
Offsetting and going to make the Hawks punt it again as the Hawks call for participating without a helmet. Another one of those first game of the season.
Well, yeah, Sawyer, the Guyer blocker, he was called for a blindside block. Then he knocked the helmet off. That was a personal foul, knocking off a helmet of Trip Anderson. But Anderson, I mean, he's thinking, I got to get up and make this tackle, but you're not allowed to do that if you don't have a helmet on. I mean, that's a safety rule, which is why they made that. But, yeah, tough break. I thought they might get – I thought 2 is higher than 1, so maybe it'd be advantage, you know.
Yeah, that would be nice, as that would have backed it up. At least looked like they would have had the ball probably inside their 40-yard line, but now the Hawks going to have to punt again and going to have to punt it once again to DJ Reese.
They're going to call a timeout. It looks like a timeout here by Heath, just been called, their first of the second half. Game brought to you by Group 1 Dodge of Rockwall, proud to support our students, athletes, and community. Stop by and experience the difference and the service you deserve at Group 1 Dodge of Rockwall, Texas. Proud, Rockwall strong.
How about Catherine King from our student broadcast team coming up like a champ there?
I know.
During halftime, excited to see what they're doing. That was a big interview with the cheerleaders beforehand. And whenever we get home and they got all of them working, they're going to do some impressive stuff this year.
I loved how you said, hey, do you want to come over here? She did not even bat an inch. She came over right away. She's like, give me that headset.
She was excited. That is always what this is about. You and I and all of us broadcasters, we get to sit in the best seat in the house. And, what better way to give back than to have the student broadcasters come on and join. We have plenty of airtime, and we'll give them all that we can. 53 seconds left. Now as straightaway punt, that one is going to be a nice punt by Prosper Neal, and that's going to be away from DJ Reese and going to roll dead at about the 41-yard line, which is not too far from where they were going to get the ball if they had gotten the penalty. So nice job by Prosper Neal. But once again, the Guyer Wildcats defense coming up big on another 3 and out, and the Hawks defense back on the field.
It's what we call karma. That's what it should have been, right where it was. So,
Doug Marabic letting us know that the Heath Hawk fishing team joined the Nelson's Hawk Nest, and shout out to
we got a
Tommy
fishing team.
And Preston. Oh yes, got a very impressive fishing team for Heath High School. They have it did very impressive time. Quick screen out to the left side. Wasting no time. Graham Nixon takes the screen pass, makes a move out across midfield. Going to be run out of bounds around the 45-yard line. Guyer back in business. There's that 4-receiver stack, and now motion to the right. 3 receivers to the left, to the right. Empty backfield. Morgan looks to the right. Nowhere to go, being chased. Tries to get around the corner, and Bradley Spicer in pursuit's going to knock him out of bounds, but Morgan with a gain of 5. Going to bring up 2nd down and 5.
2 players prior to that, I want to talk about, you talk about a senior leader, Colton Lawfrey, was kind of getting on his teammate, Amadri Behrman, just trying to encourage him because, but I love the fact he went right up to him and went, that's what a leader does. Help encourage him and say, come on, man, you got to make that play. But it's something you want to see from your leaders and from your captains.
Lawfrey, 2nd-year starter, definitely leaders on defense. Along with Carson Adams, and another, that is going to be a delay of game on Guyer.
Kind of been an ugly 3rd quarter by both teams. I mean, honestly, it's been more sloppy in the 3rd quarter than it was, I feel like, in the first half.
No doubt both defenses have adjusted, and they are making plays, and they have thrown the offenses off kilter. say the least. Guyer came out early, 2 quick scores. Not for that, it'd be a close game, but of course my aunt could be my uncle or something like that. Long pass down the left side, and a pass complete down to the 1-yard line. Nice throw and even more spectacular catch. That is number 18, I believe. Want to make sure. Jaden Thomas, number 19. And the deep ball looking over his shoulder, and that is just a great catch because that was good defense by Modric Berryman, but even sometimes nothing you can do.
Exactly. You saw that little stumble by Berryman right before he made the catch, but, I mean, you're right. He was perfect coverage, I thought. Sometimes just a great pass there by Morgan.
First and goal from the 1. Handoff up the middle. Number 17, Graham Nixon, in for the touchdown, and Guyer takes a 23-0 lead.
Well, we said there hasn't been any big plays in the second half, but that big play near the goal line sets up the next play. And Guyer has more than just DJ Reese. They have a couple other weapons on an offensive end. So I think, for the Hawks now, you just want to see some momentum, at least going into the fourth quarter, some positive plays and something to build on for next week.
Yep, this is all part of preseason football, and you're taking on a top 10 team in the state. So Guyer, with that one, open up a 24-0 lead. Looks like it's going to have it going into the fourth quarter.
Well, also, Brian just pointed out it's a full moon tonight, so we have that's why we've had all this crazy stuff happen. And this game brought to you by Riddle Brothers Roofing, an award-winning roofing company serving the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex from residential to commercial roofing. Riddle Brothers provides quality materials, experienced service, and assistance with insurance claims. Riddle Brothers Roofing, a proud supporter of Rockwall ISD Athletics.
So the Quinn family is going to be coming down from St. Louis, driving 10 hours to watch the Hawks play here in a few weeks. That
okay.
Is Carter Zom's family. I believe that is his grandparents.
That's only 10 hours away?
Tonight. That is right there on the edge whether you're flying or not. Speaking of that, Zom's going to get the ball on the kickoff. First time he's been able to return one tonight, out across the 20-yard line. The Hawks will set up first down, 10, 11 seconds left to go here in the third period. Speaking of that, I'll be getting up there pretty close to Missouri. Be going to Oxford here in a few weeks for the LSU and Ole Miss game, the SEC opener.
You're camping out for like a whole week, aren't you? Are you in the college game day set that week?
I wish I was. I will be very close to it, but looking forward to that. Mainly looking forward to seeing my baby girls. Both of them up there. We go into Memphis, Tennessee, before going down into Oxford. So Neal broken play. Trouble handling the snaps, throws it, it's batted down. That's going to bring up second down and 10.
9 times out of 10, normal quarterbacks would have been sacked there, would have fumbled the ball, but just plays like that, I know it's going to be written down as an incompletion in the stat sheet, but I am marveled by what Prosper can do when there's just disaster.
Zom in the slot to the left. Receivers to the left. Quick throw caught. Contreras makes a move inside. Nice move. It's going to be out close.
Oh, there's
to
a late hit.
Down.
Yep.
And flag coming in for a late hit. That should move it up 15 yards and put the Hawks out across the 40. See what the officials have to say.
Yeah, watch it right. And you'll come from the top of your screen. That's their safety, Paxton Williams, right there. I mean, that's a pretty obvious call, and that'll put him right around the 40, 45-yard line.
this is requiring a lot of conversation.
I think that's the end of our third quarter, too.
See if we can get the official call.
You're right, it is taking longer.
Late hit is the call. That's how we'll end the third period. So stalemate for most of it, but the long pass by the Guyer Wildcats going to put them up 24-0 going in the fourth quarter. We'll be back. More Heath Hawks football on the Rockwall ISD Sports Network.
Investing in you and our community is what sets Alliance Bank apart. We are community banking. That's why you can find us at nearly every event volunteering, sponsoring, and donating. Alliance Bank has been serving Rockwall County for over 16 years, and with your help, we have grown into the go-to bank for our community. Time to start a new business, time to expand your business, ready for a new home or a like new home, we will be there because that's who we are. Alliance Bank, your community bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Prosper Neal brings the Hawks to the line, out to the 45-yard line after the 15-yard penalty. Quick throw over to the left, and you're right. The low snap just throws off the timing as the Hawks look like they had something ready, but that low snap just disrupts the whole play.
Yeah, Prince Hobbs, I don't know if you could see it, he was wide open outside the numbers. Maybe 6 points.
Just underway in the fourth period. Looking to the right, has a man downfield. Prince Hobbs thrown a little bit behind him as he was trying to go back shoulder. Hobbs didn't check up, had him where they want him, and another opportunity for the Hawks. And gone to the wayside. That's going to bring up third down and 10. Back to pass, tucks it under, has room, hits the pavement down inside the 40-yard line, and 15 yards going to be added onto it as Prosper Neal that time didn't have what he wanted and just turned it on and hit the Jets.
Well, and you get 15 extra yards because when a quarterback, as soon as they give up their body and make that slide, you cannot hit them when they're down. And this is going to be another late hit on Guyer. This will put the Hawks inside the Guyer 25-yard line, or at least close to it. You got a chance to look at that replay. I say they better not pick up that flag.
It's going to take it down to the 22-yard line. Hawks in business here. Score here would go a long way towards the confident, as Hawks only with 3 preseason games this year. Hand off to Zom. Sidesteps a couple of attackers before being met. Gain of 2 yards.
Well, it's not a typical night for Carter just because when you have that, just not because that defensive line, but until Heath has been able to kind of stretch the field a little bit, that kind of opens up more holes on the interior line. And so if the Hawks can make it, get a couple of plays here and look downfield, that will stretch the field more so for Carter Zom too, that he'll come out for, actually he's in the slot bottom of your screen.
Quick throw down the left side, trying to back shoulder that one again, as he was trying to hit Sheldon Bell, and another one where they're just not on the same page and having to get it out there a little bit quicker than they're used to in practice.
Well, sometimes even when you have a moment, you know that Prosper's, hearing, steps because they've been coming after him all night.
3rd down and 8, probably in 4-down territory here, you'd think. Another throw across the middle. Nice catch by Contreras. That's going to be right at the 1st down marker, and it's going to be enough. A nice throw and even better catch by the senior.
He leaps up. If you get a chance to watch this, he goes up and just pinpoints it right above his head. And there was 2 defenders there and ripped it out of his hand. Just went right to the ball. Been impressed with Contreras tonight. Couple contested catches.
Hawks 1st and 10 from the 12. Neal looking to the right, tucks it under, shakes 2 tackles. Now down inside the 5, Prosper Neal. Second big run of the drive. Neal that time didn't see what he wanted and using that athletic ability. Second down 3 from the 5. Hawks trying to get on the scoreboard here early in the 4th. Neal, keeper, around the right side, tucks it under, touchdown Hawks. Prosper Neal with a keeper on the lead draw. Gets it in. The Hawks are on the scoreboard. Impressive drive.
A Rest Haven Funeral Home touchdown, and the blitz came from that left side. Prosper saw it coming. He recognized it, went to the weak side, away from the blitz. Just a heads-up, savvy veteran play by the Heath Hawks quarterback.
So the Hawks having to call a timeout there. Don't like to have to call that on an extra point.
Well, I think what this is, technically, if you go for 2 every time after a touchdown, you could technically get a touchdown. You can get 8 points every time.
Scores.
You could tie this game up. So I think they're going to go for 2. It would make sense.
Yep, I think that's what happened as the Hawks,
watch the blitz from up top here.
You're absolutely right. He saw it coming. That is just an innate sense there where he saw it coming from the left, tucked it under to the right, and athletic ability takes over. Prosper Neal getting it done.
Well, it's like Coach Dick said. He's always calm. He never gets rattled, this quarterback. And then that's the one position in football you cannot afford to get rattled because you're going to have adversity. So I think this is a smart play by Coach Dick and the staff to go for 2 because then you get a 2-point conversion. It's technically a 2-score game at that point.
Fakes the handoff, rolls to the right, has a man in the back of the end zone, caught Christian Contreras for the 2-point conversion.
Watch the block by Carter Zom here. He picks up the blitz and gave just another second for Neal to get that pass off of the back of the end zone. Right up the middle, watch Zom step in here. Takes that block, wide open, nice feet by Contreras.
You're absolutely right. The Hawks make it a 2-score game technically. With 9:48, Hawks showing some life. Like you had talked about, even at this point, anything positive with the offense. Defense, Coach Dick's seen everything he needs to see out of this team.
He certainly has. Yeah, defense has stepped it up. And now a little life on the offense. And, I mean, this game's not over because, again, if you get a stop here, it's a 2-score game. So if you get another touchdown, another 2-point conversion, then it's a 1-score game. And, I mean, they got basically 10 minutes left to play, 9:48 on the clock. It is possible.
So going to see an onside kick here. Winters to kick off. Onside kick to
got
the
the
left,
bounce.
pops up. The Hawks, ball's on the ground. Hawks going to recover. So the perfect kick by Braden Winters pops up, and the Hawks able to recover. Believe that is number 88.
Watch the bounce, though. And it did hit a Guyer right. Oh, yeah, right there.
So a block, perfect block. And
oh, there's a flag down. It went more than 10 yards, though. It has to go 10 yards.
That is number 88. You can block, as you can see Coach Casey Dick arguing with him. Rewind the Coach Dick is very upset. Rewind that play, because I think he was saying that it might be an illegal block. It's not.
Oh,
as long as they didn't take off early.
Unless it's a blindside block. Is that the only thing I can think of? But top of your screen, you'll see one of the
defender comes across.
Right there.
That is as legal a block as you can get. There was no fair catch. Officials have gotten together several times tonight and gotten it right. There was nothing illegal that we see there.
But it did go more than 10 yards.
I believe the officials, they are going to wave it off, and a good job as they have gotten together several times tonight. Applaud this officiating crew, and that is going to be a successful onside kick for the Hawks.
The reason I think they picked it up, you're right, that's not illegal, number one. But number two, most importantly, it traveled more than 10 yards. If that would have happened at the 9-yard mark, you're right. That is a flag and nullified. But it bounced 13 yards before it was even, contact was made.
So that is number 88, Beck Doty.
The other kicker.
There, the other kicker coming up with the recovery. So he was right there with winners. They do the two kicker kickoff, and Beck Doty coming up with the recovery. And the Hawks back in business here, 9:43. Go down score here, and we'll have a game. And Prosper Neal on the draw play, kicks it to the outside, hits the Jets to the corner. Prosper Neal, touchdown.
It's not over. It is not over. What I say, in literally 20 seconds, Heath has scored 2 touchdowns.
50-yard draw play run by the senior, putting the team on his back. And just like that, the Hawks are a 2-point conversion away from being a 1-score game. And Prosper Neal getting it done.
You saw that, ran right between 2 Wildcats, went right between them, would not go down, and then the speed, he just turns it on to another gear and accelerates by the whole secondary. Boy, if they get the 2-point conversion here, Shannon, it's a 1-score game.
Hawks lining up for the 2-point conversion. Contreras split to the left. Neal takes the snap. Handoff, Philly special. Contreras coming around, throws it. That's going to be intercepted. So the Guyer defense ready for it. They hand it off to Zom, tried to get it to Contreras, coming back around. No harm in making the throw.
Well, Rowe forced that back right there. It was slowly developing, and because he forced Contreras so far back, that just made it a little easier for Guyer to make that interception.
But in 2 quick plays, the Hawks have cut the 24-0 lead to 24-14, still with plenty of time left. Now, 9:33 left to go in the game. Is it still onside kick time?
Why not? By the way, we talk about toughness. How about your kicker? Getting in there head first, recover that onside kick. Now, that's tough. This game brought to you by Alders Rockwall. Looking for a place where active adults can enjoy great living, great amenities, and even better community? Discover Alders Rockwall, a 62-plus luxury apartment community in Rockwall. Come see why our residents love Alders Rockwall Home. Visit www.aldersrockwall.com and schedule your tour.
Doug Moravik texting in. The Hawks Nest still believes. Let's go Hawks. Oh. Anybody that turned it in early.
Very quiet now. There are a lot of the Denton Guyer fans went home. They thought this game was over. They missed a pretty big comeback.
Still plenty of time. Winters and Doty. Both standing over the ball. This time, Doty with a pooch kick. That is going to hit the ground. Going to be fielded. Plenty of room over the left side, and just like that, Guyer is going to erase the last touchdown. As number 19, Jaden Thomas, takes the pooch kick on the bounce, hits the Jets around the left side, and just like that, the lead is 21 again.
Yeah, all the Hawks came that near side, bottom of your screen. So once he reversed directions, he just uses that speed. And because the Hawks were on that near sideline, they just could not catch up. And, boy, that's a tough one after Heath just scored 14 points in 15 seconds.
And pardon me, it's 16 with the extra point, make it a 17-point lead. So you are absolutely correct. That is a shame as the Hawks had stole the momentum, and just like that, the Guyer Wildcats take it back. So 9:20 left to go here in the game. There's been plenty of fireworks. The Guyer Wildcats leading the Hawks 31-14.
As, let's be honest, as kind of slow and boring really the third quarter was, the fourth quarter has been electric. Guyer's had a couple touchdowns. He scored a couple touchdowns, and this game has come to life. You know, and that's something we've talked about, punt returns and kickoff returns. I think you'll see Coach Dick and his staff work on that next week in practice. Hey, that's why it's game number one. There's, things to fix, and they'll get that corrected in the future games.
Former Hawks, the Dutka family tuning in. Rylan and Brent Dutka texting in, had a big win tonight against Steinbrenner in Florida, as Brent Dutka was the quarterback here for the Hawks just a few years ago. Little brother, they moved to Florida, so good to hear from the Dutkas. Special shout out to Tristan Rodden and Brian James on the camera, having to pivot early. This deep kickoff is going to go into the end zone, and those of you that hung in there with us early, video, we were on two different floors here. We've had that happen last year at Prosper, was when the camera is on a different floor from us. Sometimes the technology does not go through these metal buildings, especially with all the other cameras and technology and all the huddle cameras. And of course, like you had said, we don't know till you hit the
switch.
Hit the switch, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But good job to Tristan and Brian scrambling, getting that back up. And
but it is a full moon. Didn't we have like a weird blood moon a couple nights ago? I mean, it's just that week, right?
I don't know. I was up in Detroit.
They don't have blood moons.
I got off the plane, and it was reminding me it was hot again. So Neal back to pass here is going to get it ball deflected. That's at least the fourth time tonight that the big defensive line's been able to deflect the pass. Goes incomplete. 9:16 left to go. Hawks trailing by 17.
Now, I know it's going to be tough to come back from 17 points down, but it would really show the resilience of this team if they, if you answer right back. I think if nothing else, Heath has shown they can score on a really solid defense.
Throw to the left, caught. Contreras shakes one tackle. Is going to get a first down out across the 35-yard line. Nice pitch and catch from Prosper Neal to Christian Contreras, and a first down moves the chains.
Well, what the Hawks are doing now, there's a flag down, and I think it might be a face mask on Guyer. But they're using their running back, Zom. Watch Zom here help right there. Actually, that wasn't Zom. That was 25 helping out with the block and gave some room for Prosper to make that throw. But, yeah, there was a personal foul face mask there at the end of that catch.
That's going to take it out across midfield down to the 49-yard line.
I want to say that's Londell Hayden. That was in the backfield that time for the Hawks.
Back to pass, looking down the middle. It's got Zom caught at the 20. Turns on the Jets, touchdown.
Carter Zom put on his cape again. Down the middle of the field on a wheel route, wide open. He somehow snuck behind the defense. Watch this. They never saw him. He's in the slot right here. Oh, what a move. He faked the post, went right down the seam, wide open. That was an excellent route run by Carter Zom.
Prosper Neal acted like he was going to hit the lead draw again and pulled up, hit Zom, and just like that, the Hawks say not so fast. 8:43 left to go. Going for two again. As throws it, we're going to see, was he down? What a play.
Oh, my. They're going to say that incomplete.
They're going to say incomplete. Well, they can't say incomplete. They have to say he was down.
Yeah, it
looked like he probably was.
How about the effort?
I don't think he was down there.
Yeah, I think you're right. I didn't see a knee down. But,
that looked like he's not
close.
Down yet. Wow. Yep. Great instant replay action there. He is still up.
Hey, great job by Tristan.
Underhands that in, and of course, not going to be instant replay for the officials, but an unbelievable turn of events here as the Hawks now 20 points in just over 3.5 minutes of play here today in the fourth quarter.
By the way, our replays brought to you by Smith & Lee Injury Lawyers. Great job by Tristan and Brian to get that shot right there. You're right. I think he was just off the ground. Actually, they scored. Heath scored with 9:48. Their first score at 9:48. We're at 8:43. So they have scored 20 points. I'm trying to do my math here. Is that 65 seconds?
Something like that. And I do believe we'll see onside kicks here probably from here on out. Even though they don't have to with 8:43. We saw what happened last time they did.
Yeah. Apologize. Sorry about that. 4 touchdowns, and we've had 4 touchdowns in 65 seconds, Shannon.
This time the Pooch Kid's going to go to the left side. It is going to go out of bounds.
That's the one place you can't catch an onside kick.
Cannot catch an onside kick. You can't return it, as that is – does that bring it out to the 35, I believe?
Yes.
So now back on the Hawks defense, who has – they're setting up at the 30. If you can kick it out of bounds and do it at the 30, I don't know why they don't do that every time.
Well, for those of you who stuck around, I mean, you've watched a show here in the fourth quarter. 65 seconds. We have seen 4 touchdowns, 3 by Heath.
So it's going to take it to the 32-yard line. Spot where it went out of bounds. So now Guyer's offense, there's been 4 touchdowns. The Guyer offense hasn't touched the field during those 4 touchdowns. So now Villegas bounced it to the outside, and Colton Lawfrey comes up from the safety position, makes the tackle, gain of 4 on the play. And Villegas is going to hobble off. He's going to be replaced in the backfield by Graham Nixon. Morgan hands off on the left side. That is going to be a gain of about 3 for Graham Nixon. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 2. Big play here. 4:48 left to go, or excuse me, 7:48 left to go in the game. The Hawks defense can rise up here and force a 3 and out.
I don't expect them to pass because, I mean, Reed Hymas realized, okay, we got to milk this clock, and they're going to go, I think, back to the ground game. I would be shocked if they throw the football here.
Another handoff to the left side, going to be right at the first down marker, but it's going to be a yard short. It's going to bring up 4th down and 1. Big decision here for Guyer. This is a huge call as they're going to send out the punt team. Would not be the craziest thing to go for it here because the Hawks, Jim mentioned, 4 touchdowns in the last 2.5 minutes.
Well,
so
DeCorian Wilson made that tackle from his backside. He stopped that run sitting down. He got knocked over and made that tackle there for Heath. Watch it right here on the bottom of your screen. We'll watch it right after this punt.
So they are going to punt it. Lawfreed's going to call for the fair catch at the 25-yard line. So the Hawks defense has done what they need to do. 6:28 left to go. And you're absolutely right.
Okay, watch right here, though. Here's that replay. Wilson gets on his feet. He's falling down, made the tackle to save that 3rd down from being a 1st down.
What a play by DeCorian Wilson, as this Hawks defense has been impressive. And, 6:28 left. The Hawks, they've had the explosive plays here in the 4th quarter. But regardless, Coach Casey Dick has seen everything he needs out of all aspects of his team tonight to know that they're going to be able to compete as District 10-6A just a few weeks away. Handoff to Zom. Going to be tackled for a short gain off the right side.
You still got time to keep the defense honest, run the football. You still got plenty of time, 6 minutes, 15 seconds left. Now they will go the huddle here, but again, still half the quarter left. And the way we saw they scored 3 touchdowns in 65 seconds, hey, you can take your time.
End up being 60-58 for this, though, right? Back to pass, looking to the left side.
Ooh.
And Contreras decided to go and almost looked like Larry Brown out there in Super Bowl 30.
Wow, what a reference. What year was that, 1994?
95.
95?
Neil O'Donnell threw it out there, just about the same
Oh,
play
yeah.
right there. Threw it out there, the receiver's gone, and the defender's still there.
MVP, I think, wasn't he?
He was, had 2 of those. Back to pass, Neil, he is going to be gathered up in the backfield on 3rd down and 8.
That's the combination of Loki and Rowe. They have made so many plays for that Guyer defensive line tonight. And you're right. At this point, there's no reason to punt. You go for it 4th down and 10. Yes, it's your own 25-yard line, but you got to give yourself a chance.
4th down and 10. Hawks on their own 24. Back to pass. Looking down the left side. Has Contreras, overthrows him. And the Hawks are going to turn it over. So absolutely the Hawks in that spot where they had to give it a shot. But now Guyer's going to take over on a short field. And like we were talking about with everything, we don't want to talk about like this is over. But regardless, Coach Casey Dick has to like what he's seen. He's got the explosive plays coming out of the offense, starting to string more of those together. And now the defense is going to have to.
Yeah, you think about this. Hawks team did not score for over 3 quarters and what they've done here in the 4th.
Deep pass down the left side. Pass goes incomplete.
That's Colton Lawfrey breaking that pass up with that deep pass down the sideline.
So 5:09 left to go in the game.
That was, again, pressure from the edge right in the side of Morgan.
Handoff right side. Tackled immediately. That's going to take the clock under 5 minutes.
Well, Guyer's really kind of out of their field goal range at this point. So, I mean, a stop in this third down by Heath, it would make things interesting what head coach of Guyer, Reed Heim, would do.
Clock now rolling, 4:36. 14 seconds on the play clock. They're going to be able to take this one down to about 4:20 before they snap it. 3rd down and 7. Throw to the left side, has a man in the flats, caught. Has extracurricular activity going on. I believe we might have a frustration foul that you absolutely cannot have. That's going to be on the Hawks. Would have been 4th down.
Yeah, Jaden Thomas made the catch on the other side and defended well again by Perryman. Watch it right here.
Yeah,
Thomas he's a pretty good receiver.
Makes the tackle. Now that was going to be still down 13. Probably would have been a 1st down anyway.
Yeah.
But a frustration foul is going to make it 1st down and goal. As coach is going to talk to their guy over there. They know he knows what's can't have that. But
I got to say, the third quarter, I could not believe how fast it was moving, and in the fourth quarter, it feels like we've been here for 4 days.
Started the fourth quarter at 24-0. Handoff slips inside for the touchdown. Number 21, Cash Bird. And that is going to probably put it out of reach there, as that's going to put Guyer up 37-20.
Yeah, they went right behind those two big left tackle, left guard that I mentioned before, right at 280, 290. And most of the night, Guyer's run behind the left side of their offensive line. And, I mean, heck, I would too.
So the extra point's going to put them up 18 now, just saying.
But also you got to remember.
They have scored 20 points in a little over a minute and a half, 3:56, no big deal.
I like that. You also got to, think about this. That Heath defense, they are worn out. They've been out there most of the night. The time of possession, we don't have it, but it's got to be, I would say, considerably in the advantage of Guyer. They've had some longer drives, so that they've got to be worn out tonight. Our game was also brought to you in part by American National Bank. There's good times and there's uncertain times. American National Bank is here to lend a hand from helping local businesses access funding to make it easier to bank at home or on the go. American National Bank provides the financial tools and resources you need for today and tomorrow. American National Bank is your bank for life. So you said it was 24-0 at the end of the third quarter. So I don't do math very well. That's 20 for the Hawks in the fourth quarter and 14 for Guyer. 34 points in this fourth quarter. We still got 3:56 to go.
Like we say, regardless, the Hawks have shown plenty of fight tonight. Defense shown it the whole game, and offense finally shaking loose, showing the firepower that we know they have. And like you said, only going to see defenses like this maybe against Longview. And other than that, the offense is going to be able to move the ball.
I bet you, honestly, Shannon, there might more be maybe 2, maybe 3 teams all year that score this many points in this Guyer defense. It's that good. When your front line is all Power 4 commitments at big-time programs, that says a lot about them. And for Heath to come out and be explosive in this fourth quarter says a lot about this Hawks offense. And as good as Heath's defense has been tonight, again, sooner or later it's the first game of the season. Fatigue is setting in. They've been out there most of the night. So now Prosper Neal, he got banged up last drive. He's back out there. He's a tough kid.
Neal back to pass, looking on the left side. That one, as snap was to his right, threw it off a little bit, trying to throw it to Contreras. Now Guyer just sitting back, playing center field.
We had both Contreras brothers out there, Eli and Christian, and it kind of went in between both of them. I think a little bit miscommunication with quarterback and receiver.
Dom lines up in the slot. Neal throws it out. That one's going to be picked off. And that's going to be returned for a touchdown. As we talked about it, they were sitting on it. And Jake Garcia able.
There is a flag down, though, around the 30-yard line.
Garcia was just sitting there waiting on it. Neal had to throw it out there. Garcia catches it. Almost was slung down, but able to stay on his feet and take it to the house.
Okay, well, that's an interesting flag. The flag was here at the 25-yard line. The penalty was a face mask on Heath on that attempted tackle by Hayden. But where the flag was thrown that referee was way far from where the foul occurred. That was an interesting flag nonetheless. But anyway, yeah, I get it. That's Prosper just trying to make a play there and going down, and when your team's down here late, trying to make a play and give credit to that Guyer defense.
So that's going to open up the scoring a little bit. Kind of change the complexion of how close this game's really been here in the fourth quarter.
Exactly. Yeah, people might see the final score tomorrow and be a little bit deceived, I would say.
But overall, gotta, like you say, you gotta hand it to Guyer. They have pretty much been in control the entire game. Got a shootout going over at Wilkerson Sanders as Prosper up on Rockwall 56-37.
Well, talking about scoring, there's been very little scoring in the second half after his 42-31 at halftime.
Prosper, the Hawks scrimmaged Prosper last week, and the Hawks pretty much scored at will, and so did Prosper, so not surprising to see a shootout going on over there. It's Prosper, another one of the state's top teams, and you got to give it to both these Rockwall schools, Rockwall and Heath. They always schedule the toughest games in the preseason, a lot like Coach Greg Harvey in baseball. Try to get the absolute toughest schedule you can possibly play, and we've seen that pay dividends down the line, especially as you get into a very tough district and into the playoffs.
You see him marching the ball across midfield. That was because of that personal foul face mask. They're going to march it off on the kickoff. By the way, again tonight, we are presented here on the Rockwall ISD Sports Network by Texas Health Hospital Rockwall, your home for Rockwall ISD Athletics.
So 3:41 left to go.
He's trying to kick a field goal from did it hit the goalpost?
He hit the crossbar.
Yeah, he did.
So when been equivalent to a 55-yard field goal.
I think this year we're going to see a 70-yard field goal in the NFL, the way things are going right now.
And I'm not sure it has to be the last play of the half anymore.
I think you're right.
Used to, that's about the only time you could ever see that. But in the Cowboy game last week, who were they playing? Kicked the Cardinals tried to kick one, and it didn't run the clock out. The Aubrey could have turned around and kicked one the other way, but the Cowboys took a knee in the half. But I think you're absolutely right. These kickers, and not just Brandon Aubrey, they're just, I don't know if they're putting little bit of helium in the
Is the ball juiced?
Yeah. Or just the training of these guys. But, man, they're kicking, 65 to 70 yarders and hitting the net. Handoff up the middle for the Hawks now with 3:36 left to go. Pettis on the carry for the Hawks.
At this point, Heath is going to run the ball and be a little more conservative.
Yep.
You got a new quarterback in there.
Getting Zom out of there. Another handoff left side.
Yeah, it's Londell Hayden getting some time, a senior running back.
Also, Cade Flowers, the sophomore, in at quarterback. Saw him play during the spring game and last week at the scrimmage. This is definitely the next quarterback for the Hawks. And, of course, with injuries, he could show up at any time. This sophomore has some game.
Bigger kid, too. I mean, says 6'1", still growing, just a sophomore.
Trip Anderson also in the backfield. So he's going to split out left. Got some new faces in the lineup. Another handoff up the middle. Hard run straight ahead for a gain of about 6.
Hayden's got a little extra burst of speed when he breaks through that hole. Kind of a change of pace from Zom, just the way he runs.
5'8", 175-pound senior. Flowers hands off the left side. Another nice gain for another first down by Londell Hayden.
Good.
As we'll go down to the 2-minute warning. So 2-minute timeout. Hawks trailing 20-45. Glad you could join us tonight on the Rockwall ISD Sports Network.
Yeah, we are presented by Texas Health Hospital Rockwall. Need a little TLC off the field, then you can always count on Texas Health Hospital for the victory. From joint care and rehab to emergency services and surgery. That's Texas Health Rockwall, here to help our community and keep us healthy. Texas Health Hospital Rockwall, our sponsor, title sponsor for Rockwall ISD Sports Network. And I got our post-game show coming up right after this, brought to you by Texas Health Hospital Rockwall.
Bet we don't do post-game interviews after a loss simply because of don't want to put kids in bad situation. A lot of things can happen. We do multiple interviews after after wins and at most all the home games. Handoff again, left side, breaks tackle down inside the 20. Another nice carry by Londell Hayden, getting behind that big offensive line, making it happen here.
He is shifting. He's got some great moves. Again, I just love his vision to see the outside. Watch this. Hayden bounce it out, and bam, right there. Stiff arm, breaks off a tackle, breaks another one there. I'm telling you, this kid maybe might get some more reps next couple weeks.
Flowers brings them to the line. Carson Hutchinson split out to the right. Hayden with another carry this time. Flags in the backfield. I think this one's going to come back.
Yeah, anytime the referee throws a flag, the white hat, it's bad news for the offense.
Hands to the face the call. So next week, Highland Park Scots come to town. Hawks, believe it was only the third loss by the Scots at home since 1989, I believe, was the stat.
That was a
last
crazy
year.
game.
Prosper final over Rockwall, 56-37. In a shootout over at Wilkerson Sanders.
Well, a hands to the face penalty, that's a 15-yard infraction.
Another handoff up the middle. No problem for Hayden as he gets pretty much all of the 15 yards back. Clock rolling 120. Flowers comes over. So after the Highland Park game, Byron Nelson will come to the Hawks Nest before the Hawks open up District 10-6A play at Tyler Legacy. Hand off to Hayden, the left side slips down. Nice defensive play by the Wildcats as the clock rolling, 51 seconds.
And kudos to Hayden. I mean, he's got to be getting tired. That's what, 8-9 consecutive carries, and he's continuing to take it. Workload.
3rd down and 9. Hand off again to Hayden this time. Tackled. Clock rolling. Under 27.
Twice he tried to cut and just slipped on this turf. Maybe the last play of the game, most likely here.
They let Flowers air it out here.
See if they get the snap off. They only got 10 seconds left.
Flowers, keeper, around the right side. He's going to be tackled right there, and that's going to do it. So the Casey Dick debut is going to come up short, but the Hawks with plenty of fight tonight. They're going to drop it 45-20 to the Guyer Wildcats. But Jeremy, plenty of positives here tonight. The Hawks offense, were up against it for most of the game, but they showed plenty of fight, able to get the 3 touchdowns. Special teams look good. Defense, can't say enough about them. You got the 2 fumble recovers from Bradley Spicer and plenty of action all the way around. I don't think there's a whole lot to be done. You know, you're always going to be disappointed with a loss. We don't want to minimize that. But overall, I think Coach Casey Dick has seen enough fight out of his team to feel good about the team going forward.
Yeah, just the resiliency, because Guyer dominated those first 3 quarters, and Heath just stayed at it. And once they got that first touchdown, that first score by Carter Zom, it seemed like it awakened this program. And they got that onside kickoff, the recovery, then that quick score by Prosper Neal that was just electric for 60 yards. And, yeah, there's a lot of positives from this game. There's also a lot of things that you as a coaching staff, you want to show your team and film, hey, we got to fix this in offense, defense, special teams. And because when it comes down to it, this is just a learning tool to show these guys, hey, we need to improve our game to get ready for district play.
It is, and so that's going to do it for us. Appreciate Catherine King from the Hawks student broadcast team for joining us tonight. And she will be putting some stuff out on social media. We'll be back next week at the Hawks Nest as the Highland Park Scots come into town. But we're going to go ahead and sign off from here. We always like to say a special thanks to all the administration, the teachers, the coaches, the public servants, and everybody that makes our community such a great place to live and raise our families. Thank you for watching Hawks football on the Rockwall ISD Sports Network. Until next Friday, I'm Shannon Rodden alongside Jeremy Bryant, Tristan Rodden on the board, Brian James on the camera, and Catherine King down on the field. Thank you for joining us tonight. And